Action.
Welcome to the Three Grandmas podcast. This week we have a special guest and we're going to do a scene from the movie.
Let's begin.
Waldo, this is my friend Tony Montana. I've been telling you about. Tony, that's Omar Suarez, and that's Waldo Rojas over there.
I got something for you.
Yeah? What do we got to do?
Gotta unload a boat. Marijuana, 25 tons. You get 500 each.
500? That's great.
You gotta be kidding me.
Keep it going, Tony.
Keep going,
Oh,
Tony.
there's a second line.
Yes, sir.
Who do you think we are? Baggage handlers? The going rate on a boat to 1,000 a night. You know this, man.
Hey, first you gotta work your way up to $1,000, man.
Why did in Freedom Town? What was that? The Rabanga hit? A game of dominoes?
That was something else, man.
Yeah, shut up. Take it easy.
What is it with this dishwasher, Chico? He know we could have got another space cadet to hit Rabanga for $50.
Then why didn't you, man? Don't call me a fucking dishwasher. I'll kick your monkey ass.
Who the fuck are you?
You can't do that, man.
The
Colombians. Okay, all right, big man. You want to make some big bucks? Let's see how tough you are. You know something about cocaine?
You kidding me or what?
There's a bunch of Colombians coming in Friday. New guys. They say they got 2 keys for openers. Pure Coke, hotel in Miami Beach. I want you to go over there, and if it's what they say it is, you pay them and bring it back. Do that and you get $5,000.
Go bring it back, yeah?
You know how to handle a machine gun?
Yeah, we're in the army.
You're gonna need a couple guys.
That's no problem.
Be at Hector's Bodega at noon Friday. You get the money then. If anything happens to that buy money, my boss will stick your head up your asses faster than a rabbit gets fucked, puto.
Oh, I'm so scared, man. I'm so scared.
Scene.
Scene.
I had one line in Prague Ticket.
Thank you.
That is ridiculous.
He did?
They say it at the same time.
Oh,
No, they don't. They don't.
Come
They
on.
don't.
No,
Come
they
on.
don't.
No, you
No.
ruined it.
He ruined it.
All right, let's run it
How dare
again.
you.
You stole
Take
Tom's
it
From the
again.
top. No, listen, we'll run it again. I don't give a fuck. Take 2.
Take it again.
No, dude, he
Ridiculous.
was gonna get a call after that role, and he just ruined it.
Lance is gonna call me.
Yeah, dude, there's people in this crowd. They're looking for the next star.
Yeah,
It's true.
Could have been time.
could have been.
Could have been
Listen, I'm
time.
trying to be in Scarface too. Maybe they need a new Omar. I don't know who's playing Omar in the next one, right?
Is Brian De Palma still alive? Would he do Scarface?
I don't
too?
know.
Is he alive? That's a good
I don't
question.
know.
I didn't expect
Who is
trivia
Brian
to
De
hit me
Palma?
in the
Is the better
nuts.
question.
The director.
But why don't we
Oh, okay.
let our guest introduce his
Did you
film?
watch the credits?
Since
Tom?
we invited
I didn't
him
watch the
here.
movie.
Oh, how dare you? How
You guys
dare
are
you?
crazy. So embarrassed every time.
I was watching wrestling. Damn it.
So if anyone hasn't worked out, we're talking about the movie Scarface, directed by Brian De Palma, 1986.
Three.
Three.
I thought it was one of those two. It was one of those two.
Mhm.
I had them both in my head. But yeah, so this is Scarface. This is a classic crime film chosen by our good friend Angry Scar. Welcome to the podcast, Angry
Thank
Scar.
you for
Thank you so
having
much
me.
for coming.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please
What's
tell
your
us
fucking
where
story?
does. Let me do my thing.
I'm sorry.
How much cocaine
Did I
do
steal
you
your line?
need?
Did I
Let's start with
steal
that.
another line? I'm always stealing in lines on here.
how much cocaine did you do
I've
before
done just a
starting
little bit
this?
for the movie, for the podcast.
Research. It was
And-
research.
Trying to figure this guy out, man.
And where does Scarface sit for you in your heart? Why did we pick it today?
I think it was a movie I saw like mid-teens. I was like 14, 15. For some reason, when I saw it, it was just like, it's like such a journey, the movie. It like evolves over time. Like he starts off as this nothing, and then I was writing, because I wrote notes on this shit. I did.
Nice.
Like, I feel like the character literally has like 4 phases of Tony in the movie. You get like the early, like, and he just progresses. And it's like that, the way the movie like evolves. I love that shit. I love that.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Yeah, I saw this movie for the first time, I think a few months ago. And it's one that's just always been on my list to watch, but just never got around to it. And I finally watched it, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And it was great to, get another look at it, because I feel like last time, even though I really enjoyed it, I feel like last time I was a bit sleepy, a bit tired. So
It's a long movie.
What are you fucking
It is a
talking about?
long movie.
How could
It's
you
like
be
almost
sleeping
3 hours.
through the fucking action scenes? And he always yells, get out! You're the crooks.
Is he going to do the accent the whole podcast?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I just love it. It's funny. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Brian De Palma. Carrie is one of my favorite horror movies. So
Oh, he did that
and
movie?
yeah,
Wow.
he did
Let's go
Carrie.
through the Brian De Palma films, right?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk about
Well,
them.
I want to go over Brian De Palma.
God.
And he also directed the first Mission Impossible as well.
Oh, I didn't
So-
know that. Damn.
The Untouchables. He won
Just
a
the
best
first one?
director for the Untouchables.
Just the first
too.
one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's had such a weird career. Like
Dress to Kill. He made.
he goes from making a horror movie, Carrie, to Mission Impossible spy movie, and then making a film that, you know, could contest with The Godfather as well. It's just bizarre
Carlito's
career.
Way too. Carlito's
Yeah,
Way.
Carlito's Way. Yeah. Yeah, I really want to watch Dress to Kill. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that's a good
But-
one.
Yeah, he seems to be a bit of a chameleon in like
He came up
when
with
he-
George Lucas and Steven Spielberg at USC all at the same time, and also the guy who directed The Godfather. They
Who
all
did
went to
direct
school at the
Coppola?
same time. Coppola. So
Oh,
imagine
when,
Coppola.
when you said
De Palma.
when you said came up with them, I thought you meant he
created
thought
them?
up. He created
He
them.
created George Lucas.
They created one another
George
because they
Lucas.
were
Yeah.
banging so fucking hard in Southern
Yeah.
California in the early 70s that Hollywood just said, take
It's
all
funny.
our fucking money. And
There's a
they gave
connection
all
here.
to those four directors, and they banged out so many wonderful movies. It's phenomenal.
USC is a huge cocaine school, so there you go. Right
Come
there.
on.
I was going to
It
say
is.
film
It
school.
is. It's a legit big
I
cocaine
mean,
school, though.
listen, Oliver Stone wrote this movie, right? Oliver
see, there
Stone
you
wrote
go.
this movie.
There
Who was
you go.
fucking crazy yacked out on cocaine 24/7. This
See?
may
I
be
was
the
gonna
most
say.
cocaine movie of all
It all
time.
connects.
Was this
Is-
before Oliver Stone was directing movies? Like before he made Nixon, before he made
Yeah, it's almost like a parallel line
Troy.
to Quentin Tarantino, because Tarantino was dropping major scripts, and then after they made Scarface, I think he got allowed to make Born on the 4th of July. I think that's the first big movie Oliver Stone made, and then Platoon,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
JFK.
I've never seen this movie, right? And I still haven't. But is this movie, is it based on anything, or is it a completely
Yeah,
original story?
Well,
1933.
yeah, exactly.
go-
There's
go
like
Angry
the 30s. Because, like, if you have, like, the 20-year edition, they came out with, like, this crazy box set that was, like, all steel. And it was just De Palma talking all about, like, the making of the movie. And he talked about how much he loved the original. And he
Oh,
was
there was
trying
an
to
original.
remake it.
Oh,
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
an
from
original.
the
okay.
Like,
30s. From the
Interesting.
30s,
Okay.
yeah.
he literally intended to do a Scarface 2, but they spent so much of the funding in Scarface 1 that they had to kill him off because they couldn't afford to do another one.
Oh, wow.
And the movie didn't sell well at the theaters. Like, it was a VHS
They only made like 60
hit.
million or something
It
like
was
that.
it
Yeah.
did not do
Mm.
well at all.
It was a
That's
VHS
crazy.
hit.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Home
Yeah.
video hit. Absolutely. What's interesting also is that I thought that this movie was based on, like, loosely based on Al Capone, but it's not at all.
No.
It's not
No.
even, because they used to call him Scarface, and, you know, he was a big crime boss. So when I watched this for the first time, I went into it thinking it was about, like, you know, loosely based on Al Capone. And then I look it up this time before watching it, going through the Wikipedia, and there's no mention of Al Capone anywhere. I'm like, wait a minute, that was all bullshit. Yeah,
The first one
so I
was like,
completely-
this is what's going to happen, see? We're going to surround the building,
Yeah.
see? And it was like all Chicago. It's the
Yeah.
immigrant story told through the eyes of crime families. And they said it in different eras. And I think what Oliver Stone was trying to say is that the 80s new crime era there's still mafia. It's different. This is the hub. And they're trying to explain it. But there's a corollary because it's still an immigrant story, right?
So I have another
So-
question. I'm sorry, JC. It's an origin question, I guess you could say. So this movie came out, you know, and you watched it as a young little whippersnapper,
Yeah.
Scar. So did this influence GTA Vice City being your favorite GTA?
No, not at all.
Is that
and the
not
thing,
your favorite?
Oh, my favorite GTA is actually 3. Well, that's
3,
just because
okay.
that's because the first one I played. But actually, the weird
Yeah.
thing is, like, my favorite wrestler was Razor Ramon, or like in
Oh, yeah.
Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Before I even knew who Scarface even that was based on it.
You're
And
right,
then they
yeah.
then I realized they're like the same thing. I'm like, what the hell? Whole
Yeah,
thing's
there's a couple
based on
things when I
that.
was watching, so I was like, this is Razor Ramon.
Yeah, exactly. It's based off that. All those like videos they released before he debuted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you were saying that originally they weren't going to kill Tony Montana at the
That's
end
what
of
I
the
heard,
film.
yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean that we wouldn't have gotten his famous line? We wouldn't have gotten his, his big iconic line if they'd gone with that?
Well, maybe. Well, because if you want to see the real Scarface 2, you have to play the PS2 game. Because what that is that is the movie if he didn't die, and they play out the whole story of what happened.
Ooh,
really?
They play it out if he survived that shootout scene, and you carry off right. The game starts at the shootout scene, and then
the game's just called Scarface. It's not called Scarface.
Scarface something.
It's like The World Is Yours or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it feels very much like a Grand Theft Auto game. But
when did that come out?
I don't know, mid 2000s or something.
Yeah.
2000s on like PlayStation.
What about the soundtrack? What about Giorgio Moroder?
Dude,
so good.
It is
Do we
so
want to
good.
talk about it?
It is amazing. Anything he's ever worked on is good. He's such a legend.
He's the father of disco.
He
right?
is. Him and Donna Summer.
All right, so Angry Scar, you're going to witness a moment here.
Let's see it.
This is my favorite moment. This is my favorite moment.
I'm ready.
All right. Delay it.
Where I do.
Delay it.
I don't know what's happening.
We're not ready for it.
Talk
We're
about
not
the
ready for it.
soundtrack.
Delay
I
it.
want to know.
What?
I
We're
want
not
to
ready
know.
for it. We're not ready for it. Delay it.
Time, you said you'd never seen this film before. You don't even know who Brian De Palma is.
Right.
I have to ask you, first time watch, 3-hour movie, what did you think of Scarface?
I didn't watch it. I
13
watched
fucking
wrestling.
minutes into the thing, and we're going to do the fucking ratings? What is the fuck's
not
going
ratings.
on over here?
No, I'm not doing ratings. I just want to know what he
Gives a
thought.
fuck if he liked it or not. I don't even
do.
care.
Yeah, see,
I
there you
don't
go.
care about what I like. I don't care what
come
other
on.
people like.
Jeez.
Come on, I want to know what Time thought. I want to know what Time thought. Just initial thoughts on what you...
I didn't watch it. I watched wrestling. I told you.
No, get out of here. You did watch it. Come on.
I didn't realize it was a 3-hour movie. That was
Hey,
that
it's
was
2 hours
insane.
and 47 minutes, I believe.
50 minutes. 50 minutes.
250. I was close.
I was like, why am I watching a 3-hour movie? This is crazy. But I
Dude,
sat
watch the
down. I
director's
watched it.
cut.
Oh, is that
That's
longer?
like 3.5, I think. 3.5 or something.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like Lord of the Rings.
So, of course, this movie is very in the in pop culture. You know, you got everyone knows little lines from it here and there. So that's all I knew going into it. So yeah, I sat down and I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, of course you did.
Let's go!
Let me say this because this was hilarious. I start the movie right. I completely
JC
forgot.
right where he wants him. No, because JC whole fucking week is based on whether or not Time likes the movie.
Yeah.
It's not about whether JC likes the movie now. And then he celebrates when when Time likes the movie, but he's sad when he doesn't. And so you can't give him that much control, JC.
It is what it is.
What?
I'm sorry, Tom.
No, I love it. I love it.
So I forgot the podcast was today because my days off changed. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch a movie today. So I watch it, and as I'm watching it, Flame's not home. So she comes home, she's doing stuff. She's like, "Oh, you're watching Scarface?" I go, "Yeah." I was like, "Did you want to watch it?" And she's like, "I don't know." So she's watching it with me. It's the very beginning, like 20 minutes in, and she's like, "I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. It's too hard to follow." And I go, "Okay." At the end of the movie, she is on the couch, just gripped.
Yeah,
just like,
that's how I was.
Yeah.
and she goes,
That's how
"That
I
was
was
a really good movie." And I go, "It was a really good movie."
I was going to watch it in sections, in 2 parts, because I knew it was 3 hours. But then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm just fucking glued.
It did take a little bit to get started.
Yeah,
but
it's a slow burn.
It's a gripping movie. Like it is legit. Like
the pace is wonderful.
And then there are parts where it kind of like slows down a little bit, but then something happens that it just brings you right back into it.
Like there'll be something crazy, and there'll be like the Gina scene where he goes to see his mom and his sister, and then it'll be like it's just like story development, and then it gets
Mary
right
Elizabeth
back into
Master Antone.
Yeah.
So well written. Yeah.
I
But
thought Michelle Pfeiffer was
I enjoyed it.
the big star of this movie, but Mary Elizabeth Master
This was
Antone.
pre her prime, pre Michelle Pfeiffer's prime.
Yeah, but
You don't think this is her prime? You
No.
think this is pre her prime? Really? I thought she was gorgeous.
Batman
in this.
Returns is her prime.
oh,
And the Catwoman.
Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
feel that.
Did you see
an argument?
she
Yeah,
was
that's a
using
good
like a
point.
whip? She got
Yeah.
trained by the same guys Indiana Jones to do the whip stuff in the movie.
Yeah, but don't you
Really?
think they made her
Yes.
look coked up and too skinny, and they made her look all fucked up because all she did is
Super
drink
pale.
scotch and
Yeah.
blow
Yeah.
all day,
Yeah.
right? And
She
so
did
I
look
think
tired.
And she was so young when they made that movie. I think it's a phenomenal, like almost a star debut for her, and that just launched her career because she was so believable.
That guy who played Manny, I've seen him in a bunch of movies too.
Yeah. He's in
Manny?
Breaking Bad.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in
Who's
Breaking
he
Bad.
playing Breaking Bad?
He's with one of the dealers down when they like leave the country. They do like a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah,
and the
they meet him.
assassin is Victor Salamanca, the guy
Yeah,
with the bell, right?
Victor
It's the same guy.
Salamanca,
and that he caps in the car because there's kids.
Time.
What you doing?
There's
There's kids in there. You can't there with the kids.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mark Margolis, that guy. He's such a presence. Like as soon as he's in the film, you're like who's that guy? Oh, what's he gonna do?
Which guy's
Is
that?
he?
The
Mark
assassin?
Margolis. He's the assassin.
That's his name. Okay,
He's Hector Salamanca.
When he goes up to New York to try to get the guy before he speaks at the United Nations, and embarrassing him, and then he's like, "No, there's a little babino there. I can't kill anybody.
I can't do that. I'm not
so
gonna
he
do
caps
that.
him. It's crazy.
Is that when before he shoots him, doesn't he go like, "You die, motherfucker"? Doesn't he say it right
Yeah,
before I think that's what he says.
It's
It
so
was something crazy.
They're following him the entire time. He's like, "Nah, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna." He's just still
He's like,
following
fuck
him.
no, fuck no, this is so bad. This is so bad. Fuck no.
It's so bad. He's
Shut
like
the
trying
fuck
to
up.
decide what
Yeah.
to
Shut
do.
up.
Wife and no kids. I told you.
Yeah.
Shut up. We have
It's
to. Pedro
amazing.
says we have to kill him.
Well, we got so many big hitters in this film, like F. Murray Abraham, who's
Omar.
fantastic. Omar, yeah,
Omar the
he's
monkey.
fantastic in.
That's what they call him in this movie. I got the full script, and if you read the script, you can see that there's like 2 or 3 movies in here because it doesn't follow. Like I had to really find that scene we had because it's not even in that initial script, and you can find it online. But it's interesting.
It's like they found the movie while they were shooting it.
What was Omar the guy they threw out the helicopter?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was savage.
Dude,
oh my God,
the first
that's so
time I
good.
saw that as a kid, that like when he fell out, it like you have that like sinking in your gut feeling. I was like, oh my God. Like
Oh
I'm
my
seeing this as a
God.
teen.
I like the
like,
little detail where they had the shoe fall off his foot.
Oh, when they
because
fall
obviously
off,
they're
yeah.
using a dummy,
Yeah.
so they're hanging him from the helicopter, but then the shoe falls off.
Falls
And I
off,
thought that
yeah,
was really
yeah.
was that a
cool.
dummy or is that a stunt guy?
Oh,
I
don't
thought it
know.
was a
I think
dummy.
I hope
Had
it's
to
a
be
dummy.
Dude,
Yeah,
with-
that's
Yeah.
I swear it moves.
I mean, even
swear
with
it
the
moves.
harness. Ooh, I don't
It
know.
is an
Maybe
easy
they
guy,
did.
though.
But yeah, if you've seen the Mozart movie Amadeus, F. Murray Abraham is like an incredible actor, and
He won Best Actor for that, right?
I think he was nominated. I'm not sure if he won.
I feel like he
but
won for
it's-
Name of the Rose or that one, but he's a banger.
Yeah. And he was fantastic in the recent season of The White Lotus as well. He's just consistently good. And in this movie, you could just tell how jealous he is of Tony Montana and how
I
much
love
swagger
when
that
they
dude's
roll
got.
up in that scene that we did. When they roll up, they're so fucking tweaked out.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got the music going.
One
They're
guy's
like,
like, he's just
and
bouncing.
then Tony's like, "You're gonna focus on me now." And they're
Can I
like,
just say, I saw that scene for 10 years, and the whole time I thought they said, we have a bunch of cologne beads. That's why I thought he said instead of cologne. I thought they said it was a cologne bead transportation. I was like, what are
Cologne
cologne
beads.
beads?
And
Is
these
this a drug term? Cologne beads?
cologne beads.
I was, and then it took me like 10 years to understand what they're saying. Fucking cologne beads. I don't
Love
know.
beads. And can we talk
on
about
it.
that first scene, the first time they do a job, like when
The stabbing.
when he's when they're
Chainsaw?
hanging from the shower.
Oh,
with
shit,
the
that-
chainsaw.
Brian De
yeah.
Palma,
Oh,
master
yeah.
of horror. That's what the movie that you didn't see, JC, the serial killer movie. That's a scary fucking movie, and he shows you in that scene how he can do fucking terror.
Well, I mean,
when
I've
he had
seen
him chained up, I was like, so here's when his friends come in.
yeah,
So here's when his friends come in.
friends come in. Yeah,
So here's when his friends.
they don't. They don't.
No,
He's
he's
just
just
fucking
flirting.
cool.
They're all flirting
It's cool.
24/7.
The two things about that scene is if you see the behind the scenes, there's just a guy off screen with like a literal ketchup bottle just squirting it
Spraying it
at
on the
him.
window?
Yes. If you look at the blood's path, you can tell it's literally a squirt ketchup bottle that he's just
Yeah,
doing
they do it
that.
with
That's
sound.
funny.
All the
And
terror
also,
comes from
uh,
sound.
in
Sound
Vice
design,
City,
right?
There's a building you can go into that has a chainsaw in it to refer to this scene in Vice
Oh
City.
shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Which is-
scary.
And it's like,
'Cause
you know,
can
and it's
feel,
the fact that
you can feel it. You know.
Yeah.
But it's also Tony Montana or Al Pacino's performance in that scene when he's like hanging from the wires, and you can't see
eyes?
what's happening.
Dude,
yeah, his
oh,
eyes.
yeah.
The way they
watching
shot
off
it.
screen.
The way they
Yeah.
shot it is also it's like they like hard cut in. You see the
Mhm.
blood coming out right here. It's like you don't see it, but it's like
And the
just
way
tell
he keeps looking away, and the dude just puts his face up. Like, no, you're gonna look. That was crazy.
His eyes,
Yeah.
Pacino's
You know what,
eyes in this movie. Every
I don't know
scene is
if it
just
was
like amazing.
I don't know if it was that hotel or if it was some other place, but there's a place where it looks very similar to like the main hotel that you're in Vice City.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's based off that same street, that same main streets exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, about the scene.
Yeah.
So Manny's outside before he goes in. There's a girl flirting with him. Some bikini girl, 18-year-old girl. She vanishes on the set after filming that scene.
Oh shit!
And was never found ever.
Oh my god!
Never found
Al Pacino
ever.
killed her. I know what happened. You
Right.
got
I swear to God, you can look this up. That exact girl from that scene, she was seen that day, never seen again the rest of her life. Ever.
Please,
what are you talking about?
Facts coming. Please,
I gotta
remind
coming.
her.
Way.
If
I
you've
swear,
seen
I
this
just-
girl,
I'm
call
not
me.
joking.
Go into the
my
Discord,
God.
call
It's a
me.
whole
Maybe
thing.
she just disappeared.
Whose
That's so
grandma
crazy.
is that?
She was
Whose
only
grandma is
18
that?
too.
Nobody's
Yeah.
because she was so young.
That's crazy.
Well, now she's what? She'd be like 50
Dead,
now.
JC. I'm sorry, she's dead.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That shit's so
Sorry.
crazy.
She's
He
hiding
said I'm
somewhere.
sorry. Time.
He did say he's sorry. He did say he's sorry.
I mean,
But speaking of
it's
Al
the hard
Pacino's
truth.
performance, because I know Heat was your first Al Pacino movie time. Are
Yes.
you a convert now? Is this like, are you Al Pacino stan after this, or?
Well,
He was great in this movie. I'm sorry.
I thought he was fantastic, but I think it's just another example of why we need to keep, a Cuban should play a Cuban, not an Italian should play a Cuban.
Okay, here we go. Here we
Here we
go.
go.
And so I can't play Mario on Q-Pod
You
anymore,
definitely can't play
right?
Mario on racist.
Exactly. Everything I do is racist because
No,
it's good. I
He was
understand.
fantastic. Like his whole what Scar brought up earlier about his there's different stages of Tony Montana,
Yeah.
like 4 different stages. They're the evolution of Tony Montana. It's not good. He keeps getting worse as the movie goes on,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
he
Cocaine
plays
is a fuck you up.
worse as he's going on. Like that scene in the in the
Bathtub?
restaurant. No, in the
Oh,
restaurant. And
Yeah,
he's just
well,
like,
yeah. Say
I
hello
was
to
like,
that guy.
dude, this is amazing.
You need a bad guy. You're the bad guy.
I don't mean,
he's like doing this
That
whole
speech,
thing.
I love that speech.
Dude,
that he
that
did.
is
shit-
incredible.
that's
Where-
insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that was like such a good speech. Where it's like, you need the bad guy like me, so
Yeah,
you
but
can
it's
point the
bullshit.
finger to.
Like me.
Yeah,
It's
I
Kind
was
of
like,
bullshit, but the only reason they all sit and have to
Kinda right.
listen to him is because they're afraid of him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not really because it's a compelling speech. It's because they're afraid they're just going to get killed if you
Yeah.
say anything,
Yeah.
which is true. But it's
no,
also
he's
an
saying-
amazing speech.
Yeah, I mean, he's
It's really
obviously not
worthwhile.
a good person, but like what he's saying is 100% true. Like the
Yeah.
fact that poverty breeds crime, and rich obviously the rich people feed off poverty and cause
Yeah,
it. And
He talks about the legal drug trade. The fact, he's in the scene where he's in the hot tub in the bubble bath
Yeah.
with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Fly
before she
pelicans.
dips. Go ahead, fly pelicans.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's because they keep it illegal because the politicians and the crooks make their money that way. That's and it's very Oliver Stone really wanted to make that point, and you could tell.
Yeah.
But then it goes into the family drama, and she's whacked out of her head on coke all the time, and it's really crazy.
Yeah.
The paranoia.
there's-
You start to feel the
There's
paranoia.
something about Pacino's performance too, especially early on, where I'm not really sure how to characterize it or like how he's playing him, but it's like he's playing him too straight, and it's like he's like he made a joke or something where he goes, I'm so hungry I can eat a horse," and then he's like, "Oh, well, we can cook you up a horse," and he goes, "Yeah, I'd eat it too." But he
Yeah, I
plays
eat
it
it
so
too.
straight. He doesn't
And I
think
eat
it's
it too.
funny.
See,
then
I
he's
would
like-
like a horse.
And then the other weird comment he makes, that's like whatever, is like, oh, the Michelle Pfeiffer's character, she takes forever, to get dressed, wwhatever, It's like, oh,
Yeah,
you got to
it
catch
is
her in between
Elvira.
yours.
you got to
know,
catch
like,
it in between, and no one laughs.
Elvira.
yeah, you goes, and no one laughs. And then he's like, the guy goes, you might have to catch her when she's, like not getting dressed, or whatever. And he goes, yeah, that's the best time.
And Elvira doesn't fuck with either of these guys, because when she dips, you never see her again, and she only goes with him like he's trying to be so romantic and everything. But I think she's just afraid, and she's addicted to coke. So
Yeah.
she has to go to one drug dealer next, but you never feel like any chemistry between them. Like,
Yeah.
You
like
don't.
Manny
I
had
felt
with Mary
like
Elizabeth Mastrantoni.
really because I felt like they had something.
When he was
Like
making her
early
laugh,
on.
yeah.
Yeah. I felt like they had something, and then that's just like a fleeting feeling that she just followed, and after that, she married him, and I felt like that was just a fleeting feeling she followed, and then turned
Maybe
out
she
to be
tried to make it
disastrous
work,
for
and
her.
they got so messed up on coke that it's just impossible at that point.
Yeah, and she couldn't have kids either, right?
Yeah, and he
What
would
did you
rub
say,
that
the-
in her face, which was
I
so
mean,
fucked up.
Yeah,
And that's
so
when
bad.
she hits him with the scotch, though, and puts his cigar out. That was a powerful move right there.
Yeah.
She walks out on him in public. That's a
That was
scary
cool.
move.
When she threw the thing, he reached out and like grabbed her hair, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh yeah, he's so good. I love the acting in this because he doesn't really hit anybody in this. Like when he hits his sister Elvira,
Yeah.
he does like a stage thing where I don't know, maybe they sped it up, but he's kind of just grabbing her head like that. But the sound design makes it seem, and the speed that he goes in at it, and the look in his eyes, that creates like that power that Pacino has. When he gets like crazy violent in this movie.
Yeah.
I really like a thing that De Palma does in several scenes is that he'll cut between two things. Like, there's the scene where he's about to get assassinated by the two dudes, and he's on the table, and it cut between that, and I'm trying to remember what the other thing it was cutting between.
The comedy routine guy, or the dancing.
Was it the
I think this was
dancing?
later,
Yeah, it was the dancing
wasn't
guy.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
It
first
was in the
time
club,
is when
wasn't it?
yeah, there's
Oh,
the first
okay,
time where
okay.
he's yeah. There's two scenes in the club where he does this. The first time is when he's talking to the drug and alcohol guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say
Uh,
something real quick and interrupt about that scene
course.
super fast?
Yeah.
So
Go on.
if you
Yeah,
remember,
yeah.
when he's getting shaken down by the cop, and they're in that fully mirrored background.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, that was the hardest thing to ever shoot with a camera because everything behind them's mirrors. It's like, how are you going to get
Yeah.
the camera not in
No
the
lights.
shot? And the Palma
Oh,
just
yeah,
said it was
yeah.
like the biggest disaster filming any of the scenes in front of the mirror in the club. Because it was
Do you
just,
know how they did it? Do you know how they
I
got
think
around
they just managed to find an angle or something. I don't
it?
know,
Like they
but
blocked it.
Just keep moving.
Yeah.
Like,
they
we're here.
probably got
mirrors.
creative.
Don't move.
Well, you
Yeah.
can film
'cause-
it with mirrors off stage. If you have a series of mirrors bouncing, reflecting
Yeah.
off one another, you can. That's probably what they have to end up doing, right?
Because
That's how
I
magicians
remember
will do it.
when I was shooting my short film, we had to place actors in front of the window so that we couldn't see it in the mirror.
Oh,
And
that's
then
smart.
there was another scene. There was another scene in front of the mirror, in front of a window, and our window. It was like a divided window, so there were three windows, and there was the dividers in the middle. So we placed the camera exactly where the dividers are, so that would block the
Oh,
camera.
so block it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of annoyance that mirrors can cause when filming a movie is just
I think it fucks with the
insane.
lights too, doesn't it?
yeah,
Can it
and
fuck with the
especially when
lights?
you're shooting and then like you've shot like like 5 takes, and then someone looks at the camera and they go, you can see the camera in the mirror, and then you have to reshoot everything.
Yeah.
Like the amount of planning it takes when you have mirrors in a scene is crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're able to do that in that club scene, because there's just mirrors all
I know,
around.
and it's like how would you even I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that shootout though, when they have the Frank Sinatra guy, and then they're just waiting for him to get in front so the spotlight will shine in Tony's face, but that fucks up their shot, so they miss everything.
What was
And
the
then the lighting
comedian's
falls on
name?
him.
Richard Belzer or something like that?
Richard
Oh
Belzer,
yeah,
yeah.
Richard
Yeah,
Belzer's in
he's
there.
the comedian
Yes.
That was
on there.
funny,
Yep.
yeah.
He's hilarious.
Absolutely.
I didn't know
he's
that.
really
Yeah.
good.
I had no
Alright,
idea.
He's the
Yeah.
detective from Law and
Oh,
Order, right?
yeah.
From
Yeah.
Ice-T. He was Ice-T's partner. Yeah,
But
he's really
he's
funny.
He was like the longest running reoccurring character on like a bunch of different shows. I think that's like his claim, or not his claim to fame, but like it's like an interesting thing about him. He's appeared across like 20 different TV shows
Holy crap.
where he's like the same person.
Belzer?
Just him.
Yeah, Richard
Yeah, he's on
Belzer,
Curb Your Enthusiasm too all the time.
what is it?
I think.
Oh, Munch.
yeah,
I
he
think, right?
was.
The character Munch, Detective Munch or something like that.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just
I
always
think
call him
Yeah,
Belzer.
he appears in Arrested Development a couple episodes where he's that same detective. So he's like he
I feel like he was in
across space.
Goodfellas or
That's
one
awesome.
of those one of those Scorsese movies. I feel like he did a stand-up routine or something. I know they used Sebastian Maniscalco for the Irishman. But yeah, he's a hero.
So-
I mean, comedians love Belzer.
Yeah. So the scene I was talking about is when he's talking to the drug and alcohol detective, and they're making a deal, but he has like no interest in having this conversation at all. So while they're having the conversation, it cuts to his POV looking at his sister with the
that guy dancing.
with the guy dancing with her,
Ooh,
and it's
he's
like
seething.
yeah, he's
Dude,
just
the sound effect they play where it's like, dude,
You
the
think
sound.
she was right when she said that you really want to sleep with me, Tony? That's why you're so crazy.
That was such
all
a
the
weird.
time. It was like a dream sequence or something.
That was so weird.
But I think she might be right a little bit because she kind of nails him.
I don't think so.
Well, I don't think he wants to sleep with her, but I think she's making a point that like he's so controlling in her life in that way that it's almost like he wants to sleep with her. Like that's the point she's trying to make, is that he's trying to control
ownership.
her life. He's trying to ownership, exactly. It's all about
property,
possessiveness of
because it's going to make him look bad if she's messing around in public. He looks bad. So everything in this movie is about his ego. And cocaine is a very egocentric drug. It just magnifies someone who already had a crazy ego that made him powerful and a conqueror and can do all this great stuff. But then when he gets too close to the sun, he dives into the sun because, he's already that creature.
Yeah.
And he's like amplifying a beast that's already amplified. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it reflects on him. Like he obviously hates himself. Like, I feel like he doesn't like his life. He doesn't like the stuff he does. And he doesn't want that from anybody as well.
The most powerful people in this movie, he barks right at him, claps right back. When they're interviewing him the first time.
Yeah. But he feels like he has to do all this stuff because the US is meant to be the land of opportunity, and it doesn't give him any.
Do it.
Yeah, so he does that instead, and he's, he feels like he's been shortchanged by the communist rule in Cuba. So, he goes into this, like, he feels like half his life has been spent just being told what to do. So he moves into the US, the land of opportunity. It doesn't give him the opportunity.
That's kind of bullshit,
so he has
you know
to
why that is bullshit, JC? Because he was already like that pre-revolution Cuba. He was already a criminal doing the same shit in pre-revolution Cuba. He's just a fucking testosterone machine.
Yeah, I guess so. But
he's just like a GTA character. Yeah,
but that's still.
And he uses that narrative to get over on the cops. He's just telling them what they want to hear.
Yeah, no, but I still think he feels that way because because he was told like that has bred this, like that, obviously that world in Cuba has bred this person, like has bred this resentment and this need to, always overcome
the
adversity. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that, like, I'm sure he's fucked up from that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they were in Civil War, right? Before this. And then he gets locked up. And because all political prisoners were locked up. And then when there's this allowance by Castro to let one time everybody leave the island, they got rid of their prisoners at the same time. But a lot of those prisoners were not necessarily normal prisoners; they were political. But there's we don't know because nobody's really checking. So it's it's a crazy influx without any real organization into Miami, and it really set off the drug trade in a huge way for the next 25 years. Right, as a hub.
And another thing Tony said, he's like, there's nothing you can do in the beginning that Castro has not already done to me. So it's like... yeah.
I'm a political prisoner.
That's when he's just getting there, too.
Oh, yeah. The fire, though. Could you imagine if you went to a new country and you were being interviewed by the fucking detective or the immigration you imagine clapping back at them? No, because they fucking... You might fucking loot you.
Up. Yeah.
They might just kill you, bro. You might just
imagine telling them you work in sanitation. Instead of being in the sanitarium.
I don't know, Tony. I told him I work in sanitation. Sanitation, I told you sanitarium.
Sanitarium.
The thing is, like, you should have kept your mouth shut. They would think you're a horse.
Oh, it was so sad when Manny got shot. Their relationship was so good.
And then the reveal after that.
Yeah, because they didn't show him with holding the gun. They just opened the door. Yeah, but you can't answer the door with Tony Montana in a fucking silk robe with nothing on. When you've experienced the drama just from like hooking up with somebody in a club, that's, and he's been doing coke and
he thought somebody. Getting it all out the way and making it like solidified that they're married would have eased it.
I think he didn't even know what he did. He looked as surprised as they were that he pulled the trigger, and they don't show the gun. It's just like
because they were all leaving, and he went back in like, no, you have to leave. You have to leave now.
Yeah, and he's sitting in his chair, and he's just like, Manny, I'm sorry, Manny, what did I do, Manny? Why did I do, Manny? What did
That's
I
what
do?
rage does to people, though. People who are addicted to rage, they black
Yeah.
out, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they get addicted to that adrenaline, and cocaine can be like that shit.
And
You
when
know?
he opens the door and like Tony Montana's looking at him, they use the same sound effect that they used in the club when he was.
Oh
staring
yeah,
at,
yeah.
they
Sound, that
used
like
the
eerie,
same-
whatever it is.
The Giorgio
ear-ringing-
Moroder treat
Yeah.
that they sprinkled through these film. Yeah, it's amazing.
And after he did that, he goes home and just like binges coke like hard as fuck. Like he just goes so
Comic
hard.
amounts of coke.
Like it is
He's got
like
it on
he
his
buries his
mug.
face in a mountain. Like
He
it's
like
Well-
dumps over a box.
yeah.
Before that, before he goes, to talk to his mom and go to Manny's house or whatever. He eventually
his
finds out Manny's
mom.
house. When he gets back from the helicopter or whatever, that whole thing,
Yeah.
he comes home and he has that box full of cocaine. He just dumps it on.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's what you
"Call my
do.
mom," and he just dumps it.
That's what you do. You just put the whole thing.
It's so
Crazy.
good.
And then the mother wrecks him because he's finally accomplished something as far as he's concerned, and he's got a little stakeholder. And he
She
wants to
knew
go
right
see
away
them.
he was bullshit, though.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
his
she-
mom-
out, like, right away.
Yeah.
Knew what he was like
Yeah.
in Cuba. It was probably the same crazy shit because it's one thing to do it, but the way he's doing it is so wild. Eventually, you knew he was going to get popped very soon because he's like, he's not worried about the money laundering scheme and we got to get a price. He's worried about nickels and dimes, and that's eventually why he gets popped because they pose as money launderers, right? The DEA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
clock.
he goes to a different.
They have the focus on the
money
clock.
Yeah. The very top circles a camera.
camera.
they're doing the
yeah.
And he
laundering.
even talks
Yeah.
shit to them.
Yeah.
Talk
Count
shit
it
to them.
again. They sit there for hours. Count it again. It's like,
Count it
oh my
again.
god.
Count it
It's like- he complains about $1,500. No, that's not right. It's $1,500 off. Count it again.
Oh, count it
There's-
again. Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's like 100.
There was
He
one
said, no,
scene in this movie.
$1,000.
There was one scene in this movie that is objectively one of the funniest scenes in film history.
What?
Do
What's
you guys
that?
know what it is?
Tell me.
Oh, the
Please.
mustache guy.
No, mustache guy. No, it's
There's a
It's-
couple scenes that are funny.
it's after they kill Robert Loggia. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Frank, whatever. After they kill him
Frank,
and they
yeah.
walk away, and Manny goes, "What do you want to do with Ernie?"
Oh
And
yeah.
he's just sweating.
That's the one. That's the
He's
one.
like,
That's the mustache guy.
I'm saying-
Loose in his hand.
yeah,
Yeah.
sweating like this. I was like,
He's like,
"Oh
"Hey,
shit!"
you
He's
want a
like,
job?
he's like,
Yeah, Tony.
They
Yes.
just pounds
Tony.
whiskey right after that. Just pounds a huge hit of it.
I laughed like crazy when he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Oh.
That was very funny.
hands shaking."
He's like, thanks, Tony.
And you can tell they played that for comedy too. It was really maybe he
Oh, yeah.
improv the way he reacted, and then the director
then one
liked
guy
it.
comes out of the corner and he goes, "Hey, Ernie, you got a job."
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but not just that. Like the music built, like the music
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah.
That's
It
good
goes
for-
silent.
It was such
Yeah.
a tense scene, you know.
Yeah.
So
Is it
The whole
Chi-Chi?
lean into it, whatever.
and
Yeah.
then it drops, and he goes, "Tony, you want a job?" And
That's so
Is that
true.
Chi-Chi who says like, Ernie,
no,
you got
Tony,
a job?
Tony, you want a job? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Chi-Chi's
that is
the other
Chi-Chi.
guy.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the pig, right? Frank the pig or something like that, or Pascal the pig. It's just the big guy.
The white guy.
Yeah, like when he comes back to the mansion at the end during the epic end,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's like trying to get people on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, Tony, I've been calling him all night," and he's like stopping up there. So he's like, "Go ahead."
Oh, yeah.
Smash him on his ass.
Isn't
Yeah.
that the
that's
same
the-
guy who called him and he was like, "We fucked up. He got away." That
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
It was
that was
yeah.
cool
Three-
though.
called
What a
three
great
o'clock
setup,
start,
though.
yeah.
That's how they
Seriously,
nailed that guy.
that is like,
He's like, "Why don't you
Oh.
answer the phone?
yeah.
Do you want me to pick it up for you?"
You
I'll
want to
pick it up and tell him you're not here.
And then his reaction just based like what he's gonna do with the rest of that whole scene. Like what
Yeah.
he says when he picks up the phone determines if this guy lives or dies.
Yeah.
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 And the fact that he, like, once he realizes that Tony knows and Tony's going to kill him, and there's nothing that the drug agent's going to do, he's just like, yeah, you built your own tree. Like,
Yeah.
you planted
Listen,
your...
when he shoots the cop in the stomach,
Yeah.
the
He's
cop
like,
is
you
not
can't
going to
shoot a
react
cop.
that well. If you get shot in the stomach, you're not talking to anybody anytime soon. You're crying and screaming.
He goes,
It's so
"You can't shoot a
painful.
cop."
Yeah.
Oh, you can't shoot a cop, Tony. Come
And I
on,
love-
Tony. That's too
love
much,
that-
Tony. I'll make it work out. I'll give you 800,000.
I'll make it all go away. Come on.
Yeah.
Let
I
me
love
live.
the fact that then the movie doesn't tell you how Tony got away with that. It just like speed runs up
Yeah.
with that. It's
Yeah.
just like
Well, I think
it's
that's
like,
when
yeah,
the
now he's top
montage
of the-
starts or something. Is that when
One
the
of
that's
the
montage
best
is?
montage
montages I've ever
starts.
seen.
Yeah, that
coupled
montage
with
is-
one of the
Oh.
best montage songs.
Oh,
I've
the
ever-
Yeah.
Take it to the
montage.
limit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then he gets the tiger during the montage scene. The tiger
Gets
wins.
the tiger, yeah.
Once you escape the mansion in the PS2 game, the tiger helps you escape by by attacking people.
Shut the fuck
I
Oh,
swear to God, the
shit.
tiger from the movie in the game fights for you and attacks
I've
you.
had-
way.
I've had
so
that
good.
Scarface game on my PS. On my Steam Deck, and I've
You
been
do?
meaning to play it, and now I'm gonna
You
play
gotta
it.
Oh
Yeah.
my
play it.
god! I want
The best thing about it
Can you
is
stream that? Can you
it's all
stream
based around the
PSP?
balls
Well,
meter.
you gotta fucking stream that, dog. If you stream the Scarface video game,
Hey,
you're gonna have
come on.
thousands of fucking people check you out.
The
I'm
one
not even
person
fucking
playing
kidding
it,
you.
thousands.
People love this movie though. It's such a vibe, and people probably there might be a community out here. I don't know, man. I'm just excited. I want to
I'm
see
surprised
it.
it didn't do well in the box office when I looked it up.
Because
I
It was
was very
conservative
surprised.
time. You have to understand, 1983.
Yeah.
Women didn't wear short skirts.
Ah,
and
the
it
good
was
old
all
days,
this
the Reagan years.
very
Ah,
fucking
yes.
conservative country. The whole
Good
fucking
old
country
days.
was really buttoned up, and
They hated
even
immigrants.
violence.
Ah,
I mean,
same,
all these none of
same.
the big movies, like even any movie with blood or violence or drugs or sex, it was going to be a down low thing. You couldn't like really tell people you
Yeah,
were into it.
but it's just like in the context of like right now, like if you had asked me before I watched the movie, before I looked anything up, is Scarface did it do well in the box office? I'd be like, yeah, it's everywhere. Everyone fucking knows
it's a
Scarface,
classic.
But
Yeah.
it's like,
and it was weird.
is it a
because
cult
Brian
classic?
De Palma too. Brian De
I don't
Palma
think it
was
fits in the
already
cult
well
classic.
known.
Well, it's considered
category.
a cult classic.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you go to Wikipedia,
Okay.
it says
Absolutely.
it's a cult classic. But
It's the 10th best film of all time, I think AFI said. 10 best gangster or 10. I think
Yeah.
they put it number 10 all time of all movies.
That seems
I
kind of
feel
low.
like I feel.
I mean,
it seems
yeah, but
kinda
think
low.
about all the movies ever made. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of bangers out here.
True.
Because
So,
what I think is interesting about Scarface is I'm a big fan of the Godfather trilogy. Even the third one I think is really good.
I haven't seen Godfather either.
what?
Any of the Godfathers?
except for the. Um,
I'm not
but the
crazy
thing
about
is, I feel like this movie tells that story. Like it tells the story of all three
Mhm.
Godfather movies, but in one film and completely coked out. Like it's just like it's got so much more.
I felt like it
got
was a
so
TV
much more
show.
character. Yeah.
It was almost like I felt like I was watching a whole season of a TV show cut really nicely because the
Yeah.
editing is flawless in this fucking movie. There's so many ways
Yeah.
this movie could have been, but the thing is reason it's so popular is it's so watchable and
Yeah.
engaging, and there's action, and tension in every scene, and the acting is immaculate, and the way Brian De Palma shoots things is not like nobody else. Like he does a lot of those zoom lens and in and out, and the whole
Very
thing
classic.
that like Michael Mann likes to do a mansion scene, right, where you can see through the window of the upstairs, downstairs. That's all Brian De Palma that inspired that, and he does that in this movie.
Absolutely.
So I'm not surprised it didn't make money, but when VHS came out, it was everyone. That's
That
the first
blew up
thing
a bunch
your
of
dad
movies.
rented. That's the reason Dad got a VCR was so he could rent Scarface. Literally, the Terminator and Scarface sold VCRs in this country because Dad would have to rent the fucking thing to try it out because they were expensive as fuck, and so he would rent it from a local video store. This is before Blockbuster, and then he would just get all the movies that Mom wouldn't let him fucking see in the theater.
And it's
bangers.
it's probably the most easily recognizable poster of all time as well.
For real.
Like that
For
poster,
real.
yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I've seen I mean, I had only watched this for the first time like 3 months ago, but I'd known so many scenes from this movie just from, YouTube
Hip-hop.
clips and just from pop culture and
The world
stuff.
is
like,
yours, right? The world is yours.
The world is yours,
That's
yeah.
absolutely a banger song too. They all
Obviously, say hello to my little friends. They play that in ads,
my little friend.
like it's that.
Classic, yeah.
Boom!
Yeah.
Fucking grenade. He launches a grenade in his
Yeah.
house.
Oh, dude,
Two of
something
them,
with
yeah.
that scene is like apparently they built that gun for the movie where he pulled the trigger, actual fire came out to simulate
Oh my
the
God.
muzzle fire, and Al Pacino abused it, and Offset would constantly be shooting it
Oh, I
to the
bet.
point where they had to remotely activate it because the guy was just
He
constantly
kept
going around
fucking
like,
with
That thing was just fun.
Just, like,
that might
shooting
be
fire
the funnest
everywhere.
video game gun of all time.
dude, for
Oh,
real.
Pragpro, essentially.
He couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Was
Sound.
basically,
And the
It was like
sound,
a
they nailed
firework
the sound.
flamethrower.
yeah.
They really nailed the sound.
It's just gorgeous. And I really like the scene where he shows up to pick up Frank's partner, what's her name, Elvira, and he
Elvira,
shows up in this
Elvira.
car with
Oh, yeah.
tiger print.
Elvira?
And she's like,
Oh, yeah,
"Nah,
yeah.
Did you say
I'm not getting
Elvira?
in that."
Did you say
Elvira.
Elvira? No,
I said
that's not how you
Elvira.
say it. It's Elvira. No,
Is it
Elvira. Elvira.
Elvira, yeah.
Yes.
The Elvira, yeah, she shows up. She's like, "Nah, I'm not getting in that."
She's like, that looks like someone's nightmare.
Yeah.
and he's completely confused. He's
I was
like,
like, what?
I kind of
Cadillac. This is a fucking Eldorado, baby. What are you talking about? It's got a leopard seat. This is not cheap.
and then he immediately goes to buy another car just so he can drive her.
He dresses like Borat through this whole movie. I'm here for it. The fucking suits that they have on. They're so crazy.
Yeah.
The guy at the dealership is like, turret is additional. So,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Turret's additional.
Don't forget the fog lights.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
Yeah.
Don't forget the fog lights.
Then he acts like he hits his head on that thing trying to be funny and impressive. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh,
His little ring.
and just like does
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
And I love that we don't know that he buys the car until he gets attacked at the thing, and he runs out, and that's his getaway car. He has to get into the silver car instead of the
The
Cadillac.
Porsche. That's a Porsche.
Like the
What do you mean you don't want to get married to me? I've got another car for you, baby. What do you mean you don't want to get married?
like the fact he runs out, like we're in the middle of this scene where he's just being like assassinated, and he runs out
in the
he's
rain?
shot.
But they have the
Yeah,
rain.
in the rain
I wonder
as well.
if they simulated the rain. It must have been
yeah.
simulated rain, right? Because
it's gotta
you're
be,
not going to
yeah.
wait for it to. It is
Well,
Miami.
yeah.
It may rain all the time, but it was
Yeah.
coming down. It was.
Did they shoot it in Miami?
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe
yeah.
Maybe.
so.
I don't
I
know,
believe
actually.
It looks like Miami.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, nothing looks like Miami except for maybe Havana.
There's
I
a
don't think
tail.
you could shoot it there.
No.
Told you, JC, no
But
cats.
yeah, he comes out. I'm like, oh, so he did buy the car, like in the middle of this like action scene,
course.
that they were talking about, because we didn't see the car between him buying it and that scene where he's attacked by the two assassins. But then the scene before it is also hilarious when they're, he's like, "This is paradise." They're sitting at the table.
Oh, yeah,
at
the
a,
tongue thing.
It's like,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
You know how you get women? He's like, yeah, you go do that. Show me.
Okay.
You're not going to do it, I tell you. You're not going to do it. And then he goes over to the lady.
They never stop, those two.
And he
And he
walks
sits there and talks
over.
to the kids.
Yeah,
And the lady
he's
lets
like,
talk to
"Watch
the
this."
kids. She's like,
The mom's like, oh, that's cute.
yeah.
He's like, look at this guy. He's about to stick his tongue out to that woman. All right.
Look at this
Slapping
guy.
it out of him.
She slaps him.
Dude, and that scene in the TV edit version, if you want to see the most hilarious thing, watch Scarface on TV where they take out the bad words. In that
Oh, really?
scene, yeah, I'm sure you know the line I'm going to say, but he has their version where it's like, this city's like a big chicken waiting to get plucked. That's what they say in the TV version. I swear to God.
They said it's like a big chicken with a big pluck. Man.
Yeah, and then
Let's go
they-
pluck a fucking chicken, right?
They just say so many silly lines like that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
like,
that's another
yeah,
line
how'd you
that I
get
was going
that
to say
scar,
that I'd
tough
heard
guy?
before.
He's like, how'd you
Yeah.
get that scar? Eating pineapple? That's how they say
Eating
it.
pineapples?
Eating pineapple? It's
You ain't get that eating pineapples, man.
That quote, this is a city waiting to get fucked.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
city's a big pussy waiting to get fucked.
Whoa,
I had
relax. Relax.
Pussy,
That's in the
she
movie.
looks like
That's
a
a
big
quote from the
pussy,
movie.
man, to get fun.
I
Jesus.
had heard that line like ages before I'd seen Scarface and had no idea it was from this movie.
Shit.
Would your
Until I
mom
saw
tell
it.
you that before you went to school one day or
No,
something?
no, it was just like what?
Now
How
remember,
old do you think I
JC.
Now remember, JC, the world is a big fat pussy waiting to be flopped into by you. It's a big fat fanny. And you're a
Fanny,
penis.
big
And
fanny.
you have to penetrate the pussy in the
Oh,
vulva.
come on,
Have
come
a
on.
wonderful day.
How old do you think I am? I've been an adult for 8 years. Come
Just
on,
let me
give me a
cook.
break.
Just let me cook.
We're improvising. Let him do it.
I'm pretty sure like some kids would have said that to me in high school, but not my mom. Holy shit.
It's a better joke with your mom.
Yeah, a little better.
But no, there's just so many good lines in this film like that. It's just endlessly quotable.
Like I calls everyone
Absolutely.
cockroaches.
I love it when he tells Omar, what does he say to Omar? He's like, shut your mouth or I'll kick your monkey ass or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I hope you improv that. I hope that's not And then he's like, oh, then he starts shaking and shit. It's crazy.
I hope the great Oliver
Chino's
Stone didn't
nuts.
write that.
I mean, listen. Things get weird. But that was his
yeah.
nickname. That's the guy's nickname in the movie. Omar the monkey is like his name. So I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
It's a good line.
go
It's
for
funny.
it.
No,
They
it
go
got
for it.
everyone's attention. It got their attention.
So you were saying how it was like instantly gripping time and like Flame by the end of it was just like couldn't stop watching. Right.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience because before this movie, like a couple of days ago, I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula for the first time. Francis Ford Coppola, and I was, it was the same time of night. I was the same level of tired, and I was watching that film. And I got to about halfway. I mean, I thought the film was great. But I got to about halfway. I was like, I don't think I can finish this tonight. I think I'm going to go to bed.
It's
so
it drags a little bit.
Yeah, I don't normally do this, but I paused it and then watched the rest of it the next morning.
Yeah.
But with this film, I felt the same way, but I couldn't stop watching. Like it just. I had to watch it all the way to the end.
They front load a lot of the action. Like the chainsaw scene is like in the 36th minute, right?
Yeah.
So after that, I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen next?
Yeah, but that's not the gripping stuff. The gripping stuff is Tony Montana and just like him,
well, I mean
his
that
facial
too.
expressions, him talking and like the relationship he has.
And that
with
carries
the
it too.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
No worries. This happens.
All good.
Just keep cooking.
Downs. Like it's it's a big up, then it's a big down, and it's like I think maybe that's why it's so enticing, because just the ups and downs of the movie.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
You can relate.
Yeah.
Anyone who's ever grinded for something can relate to the passion that he has and that he's built this thing. But you can also see that's a warning that if you get too fucking crazy, the whole thing, you trip over your skates. If you're skating real fast and you get too fucking squirrely, you're gonna fucking fall down and
it collapses on you. Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. So, what would you, Pragpro? Are we going for it? We going for the
we have
recommends?
It's recording, so I can't turn it back on.
We have a pretty lively chat tonight.
I was going to say,
would we like to have any questions from
chat,
the
if
chat?
they wanted to? Yeah.
Flame
Yeah.
is
They
asking
felt
about
so.
the aesthetic of the set, and I love to talk about the aesthetic of the set.
Yeah, the whole thing was that whole, the classic, Miami Vice, that colorway, like that whole thing, like the entire
Art
movie
Deco.
was that, and it's fucking
Art Deco, right?
It's not Art Deco. It's not Art Deco. No, it was what is it? It's not Art Deco. What the hell is it called then?
I mean, it's like a nouveau version. It's like Miami version of Art
Nouveau.
Deco.
Is that what that is?
Something
Yeah.
like, it's like on it's like on the right in the transition between the Chicago style and like Miami, because you have the teal and the pink and the gold. The color schemes are tropical.
Whatever it is, it just always
More
works. It's
tropical.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, and like when he's
pastels, a lot of pastels.
he's having that when he's having that conversation with Frank, and there's just like the
background,
the red and orange background with the
palm
palm
trees,
trees. Yeah. It just looks so good. Like basically haloing.
You know what? That when they release Scarface on the anniversary, that's usually every 10 years was when this movie pops off, because people relearn about it. Because when it came out, I was like 11. I didn't even know about it. But when it got re-released, but that made the late 80s, early 90s very much in the same color scheme. All that fucking teal.
Yeah.
All that pink, all that neon, that's all from the Scarface re-release, because that was in 84 and then it popped off again at like 89, 91.
So another comment, and I'm going to go ahead and not fluff up Flame, but Flame says this
Fluff up?
What?
Couldn't think of anything.
Wait, what?
Fluff up?
You got to fluff up her huge cock right now.
What?
Okay. Her
What?
giant penis.
Wait, what?
She says that there's an Art Deco revival in the 80s.
Yeah, I
And
lived
so
in
this
it.
is basically it. She took like color theory and all this shit like that. So she knows everything about that stuff. So she knows, what different things are and shit like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so and that's what that sort of vibe that
No wonder you want to
Scarface is
fluff her
going
up
for.
if she knows things
Yeah,
and
fuck
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, Tracy, I'm doing it live on Twitch right now.
I can dig that. No, but that teal is a fucking goated color, and it does come back every 10 or 15 years, because then it just goes away because they oversaturate everything in like that light blue. It's like a Carolina blue. I don't know how you would describe it. It's like a greenish blue. That's teal, right?
You know what I also
It's awesome in
loved?
this country. They love the teal.
That scene in the bathtub when he's talking. There he is.
There he
He's back.
is.
So
There he
real
is.
quick, can I interrupt?
Yeah, go.
Yes.
It defaulted to my phone camera, and it won't let me change it because of recording. So I'm forced to use my phone camera for the
Oh,
remainder.
hell yeah.
Fantastic.
Phone
phone-
cameras great.
so I can
Phone
promote it.
cameras are excellent.
Yeah.
Phone cameras are
Look at
goated.
that. You look
No, it's
beautiful.
an action scene. I like it because
Prop
now
it
there's
up.
movement in the scene, and it's like a real, you know, it's like in the day in the life, behind the scenes, and then
Ooh,
no, it looks good, bro.
It's an
Set up.
immigrant story.
got it.
all good.
Look at that. Look at
Oh,
that.
you know what's funny too?
I don't think Scar's an immigrant.
There's that scene.
What'd you say about
What?
How dare
I
you?
said,
Wait a minute.
Your
I said
mother.
this is an immigrant story, and I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't
the
think
world's like
Scar's
a
an
big
immigrant.
pussy.
What,
I mean,
what were
yeah.
you saying, Tom?
We're all
What were you
immigrants
saying?
at this point, yeah.
Welcome to the country, Angry Scar. I'm very happy to have you here. If you need me to teach you anything, I'd be happy to show you around.
There's that scene with the whole thing with the him talking to Frank, you know, and confronting him about sending those guys to kill him, whatever. So Tony Montana is standing in front of that backdrop with the orange and the red and the palm trees. And as he's standing there looking, my first reaction, I go, "Oh my God, that's Angry Scar's Steam profile picture."
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It literally is, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God, I know that picture."
Well, I wouldn't be Angry Scar if it wasn't for Scarface. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
You'd be something else. What's your second favorite film? Do you know?
Come on, JC. What is this? A fucking
It's a good
trap?
question.
Because I wanted to know what he'd be instead.
He'd be Angry Ghostbusters
He'd
09.
be
They
angry.
get mad at
I'm
me
not the
when I tell them my
Ghostbusters
favorite
fella.
movie. They don't believe me.
I can't.
Which favorite movie?
My favorite movie is
Yeah.
The Exorcist. You know that.
That's a
1973.
good
Scary.
movie.
Never seen that one either.
Scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Scary.
that.
Maybe-
That- It's really scary, and that's hard to do. That's why it gets extra points because I don't really
What
get
was
scared.
what was the other movie you were tossing up with between? Because you were tossing up between Scarface
Oh,
and something
that
else.
island movie. What is it
The
called?
Island.
Oh,
Yeah,
The
The
Island.
Island.
That might be
Yeah.
my second favorite. Dude, I love that movie. Michael Bay. Oh my God,
Angry
it's such
Island.
a weird movie.
Oh,
And
no.
that's the remake
come
of
on.
Island
Logan's
09,
Run.
yeah.
Come on.
But did you ever watch Logan's Run? You never watched Logan's Run, which is
No,
what The
I haven't.
Island was based
I haven't.
on. You would love that movie because it's in
I
the
should.
70s, and so it's all fucking, 70s futuristic, all that fucking weird sets and the haircuts.
Is that
Check out
Harrison
Logan's
Ford too?
Run.
Logan's Run?
No, I don't
No?
know who's in that one.
Oh.
I want to say
can't
Charlton
remember.
Heston.
Oh, Indiana Jones. That's another favorite movie. I love Indiana Jones.
Oh shit!
Love
Indiana
that.
First
Jones is
Indiana
fantastic.
Jones
Third
movie.
one's good.
Oh my
Third
God,
one's my
so
favorite.
Oh shit! When I saw that in the movies when I was like 7,
Amazing.
oh fuck! I almost
I
lost my
love the
shit.
Third
It
one
was
with
so
Sean
amazing.
Connery is my favorite one. I like that
No,
one.
no, none of those.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
What are you
one.
talking
I only
about?
like the first
really
one.
good.
What the
The
Nazis?
first
That's a
one's
good
good
one.
as well.
Short round.
Yeah.
I don't bang with
Short round.
The next
You
one's
don't
like
like short round?
no, because what are we doing? It's like we had a great
talking about?
concept, and now
Hold
we're
on.
like abusing
Short round?
Filipino
I mean,
children.
award winner? Really?
What was Short Round's job? Did he get paid?
Hold
or
on,
was he,
hold on.
Was
He
he
was
adopted?
amazing.
Hold on, Short Round wasn't in the third one. Short Round is
Second
Temple
one.
of Doom. Yeah.
Second
Is
one.
it-
What are you
Whatever one
talking
he's
about,
in.
Pragpro? You don't even know.
It's very. No, I'm just saying.
No,
Short
he
Round
doesn't
showed
fuck
up.
with that
I
one, not the
left.
second one. He doesn't fuck with it.
I
Oh,
fuck
The
so you
opening
like
scene
that.
in the second one.
No,
with
because
the
they never
balloons.
paid Short
the
Round. There's a
antidote?
lot of back wages that need to be paid because he never adopted Short
Oh,
He
Round.
has an Oscar now. He's fine.
He's okay.
Short
He's
Round has
doing
an
good.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
won
He's a grown up.
for
He
everything
was in-
everywhere all at once.
Fantastic.
that's
movie, by the way.
wonderful.
Fantastic.
That's true. I didn't
movie.
realize that they were the same person, but that's something
That's the
I'm
same
learning
guy,
for the
yeah.
first time.
You
And
didn't
he's
know
in
that?
Say
Goonies.
that like I should know that like it's written on the box of
You
cereal.
should know that. It was a huge
like
deal.
that
It was
the
a
whole
whole
thing for a
thing.
while.
I know a lot, but I don't know all the fucking actors in Hollywood by
Every speech
child
he made.
stars.
Every speech he made, like
I don't watch the
during
speeches.
his
See,
Oscar
that's
run.
the difference between me
Yeah.
and JC. I don't watch the speeches.
You got to do your research, Pragpro.
Speeches. I was waiting for you to fucking say that.
I know. You know all my moves, don't you, Time? You're gonna trap me.
I know you.
You're gonna
I know.
trap me.
Hey,
You're gonna
hey,
finish me. But I got
look
the
at me.
balls to stop you.
Look at me, man. Look at me, man. I
I'm
know
not
you,
looking
man.
at you.
I know. You don't have the balls. You don't
This
have
is
the
going off the rails.
cojones.
All that matters in the
Don't fuck
world
with me.
is balls. That's all that matters. Balls.
We probably know the answer. But Angry Scar, would you recommend Scarface?
No.
So honestly, I would not recommend it to everyone because, like I
Never.
was saying,
Banger.
it starts slow, and a lot of
Yeah.
people are impatient, and it's like they can't make it through the story. They just want ba ba bang. So I mean, I would recommend it, but I know not everyone will like it. Not everyone will.
Yeah. Well, I tried to convince my brother to watch it. He didn't want to. So I
What?
watched it alone.
Fuck up,
Yeah.
JC.
You know what?
Yeah.
Get your brother to watch this. I think a lot of people don't know what they're missing, right? Because
Yeah,
this
okay.
is
like
not
it's,
only
it's a good crime movie from
it's
the
still
80s.
brother,
the top
go-
10
go
movie of all
listen.
time. If you just
The
like
mom used
movies,
to tell us to about the world being a pussy and fucking it. This is from that movie, brother.
What
remember-
was talking
Mom
about?
stole it from this movie.
milk him. You never been mim
What would you-
fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
What would you rate Scarface, Angry Scar? While you adjust
I
your
would-
camera.
No, I'm just moving it for
This
a
Brian De
fact.
Palma stuff.
I would up my nose if we can.
There you go.
I would probably rate Scarface maybe a good 9.3 out
Ooh.
of 10.
We do it out of
93.
100.
So
yeah.
93.
Out of
I'm just
100.
making a 93,
Yeah.
JC. Just
93.
move it. I
93.
told,
Wow.
Why do you have to
just
I know,
move the
just
decimal.
move the decimal point. Move the decimal point.
The
I need to
Dewey
hear it from
Decimal
him,
Point.
though. I need to
Yeah.
hear it from him. All right, Time. Would you recommend Scarface?
You know, I kind of fall in the same camp as Scar here. It's a
What?
slow start.
It is.
They chainsaw someone in the 37th minute. I don't understand
It
what
takes
slow
30 seconds to
means.
get, or 37 minutes to get in there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good movie, and my rating for it was going to be somewhere in between the 80s and 90s, or sorry, 80 to 90 range. But just talking about it again with you guys, it just reminds me of how fun it was and how good it was.
No, we
It
sold it.
elevates it.
I think it's going to be like a 90, a 92.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well done.
great movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Pragpro, would you recommend?
This is one of the most
Scarface?
racist screeds ever written in.
What?
Yes,
I'm not only.
it's a good example of why
I'm
we should keep the
stopping-
borders closed.
I'm trying to get this movie removed from Amazon Prime and YouTube because it's horrifically racist. None of the actors are Latino.
May I
and they
sign
have
your
these
petition?
Horrible accents. I don't know if you know how cringe it is to see a comedian or an actor do a voice of someone from another country, but it's
Yeah.
really bad, and we're just not standing for it.
Italians
I
are not
love
Cubans.
this. Listen, this movie.
Can
Is
we
this getting
cancel
uploaded
Brian
to
De Palma, please?
truth.org? Is this getting uploaded to truth.org? Is that where we're posting this?
Change that
Love the
petition.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone
Or
should
post
see
it?
this. Unless you're like a, if you're a very conservative person, if you're like a grandma or somebody who doesn't like chainsaw stuff, then. But if you're used to a little, if you like Breaking Bad and you know you can handle Sopranos, you got to see this movie. It's a fucking.
You know what?
It's so good.
glad
It was
you
so
bring up-
good seeing it for the first time like 10 years. I haven't seen it probably in 5, 7, 8 years. Right, and when you see it again, it's like it sucked me right in.
That's
What would
funny
you
that
rate
you
it?
brought up Breaking Bad. Hold on, real quick, because I watched Breaking Bad, and I think that's one of the greatest series ever made. It's such
I
a
think it
fantastic
is the
series.
greatest series that's ever made. Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
first
Control
season
your cat.
is such a chore to get through for me.
Dude, it
And
Really?
I almost stopped watching Breaking Bad because of that first season.
Yeah.
But then,
like,
like, the
Slow
last few
burn?
episodes, it's like amazing.
Bring
and
it
then
in,
the
yeah.
rest of it, yeah, it's just so
I like
good.
Better Call Saul.
I really
People
like
say
that.
it's so
still
good.
finished it.
I haven't seen
I
it.
haven't finished it.
You
Yeah,
need to see
Oh,
it.
you haven't
Yeah.
It's
seen it?
fantastic.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
see all of it.
I've only seen the
Yeah,
first
Everything
season.
that Vince Gilligan makes is a fucking.
People
great-
say
he's
it's
a
better
great
than
writer.
Breaking Bad.
I
Oh, see
think,
that
I,
shit.
I think
Immediately.
some of it is better
Tonight.
than Breaking Bad. I think the villain, especially in the second half, is better than anything in Breaking Bad.
It's an amazing gangster show. Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. The best part of Breaking Bad is when the two brothers finally show up in Albuquerque.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
fucking hook the parking
It's
lot.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
they're like they're going on their knees, right? They're like,
Yeah.
you know, because they're so down with the fucking gang that they walk to like to get their orders like on their knees, like, and it's on like fucking cement. Oh shit! That
and
movie-
that's
a
when they
great
go
show.
after Hank Schrader, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe they
I don't
hit
want
him
to
against
spoil
a
it,
car.
but you know,
Oh,
but
spoil
there's
it.
a million every season. There's scenes like that, movie level gangster shit. So if you
Yeah.
love
But
gangster shit, you got to see Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. I think you're amazing.
The thing
Better
about
Call
Better
Saul is a
Call-
prequel too, so you can watch that.
Yeah.
That's
first.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about Better Call Saul, and I'll try and keep it brief, but the thing about Better Call
You don't
Saul
have to
is you could tell that like they'd found their groove with Breaking Bad, so they just hit the ground running with
Oh
Better
yeah.
Call Saul. Like
Oh,
it's
but
good from
Bob
day-
Odenkirk
like,
is what a
episode one.
great actor. Bob
Yeah.
Odenkirk.
Okay,
is,
so without spoiling the show, Better Call Saul, because there's like 4 or 5 seasons or something.
There's
it's
5
like 3 or
seasons,
4.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
all right.
I've only seen the first season and I loved it. And what's the name of the guy that's Better Call Saul? I'm sorry, Bob Odenkirk's brother. He plays his brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Chuck.
guy, Lenny and Squiggy, the guy who played
Yeah,
Lenny,
Chuck
Lenny
from
and
SNL.
Squiggy.
Yeah, I
What the
love
fuck
that
is
guy.
his
He's so
name?
funny.
Oh yeah,
He's
in-
so good in Clue. Have you seen Clue? He
I
has
have not
the
seen
best.
Clue.
He has the best final line of any film of all time.
He's in
It's
all the
so
Christopher
good.
Guest movies.
yeah, he's
yeah,
underrated.
yeah, I love that guy. He's so good. Anyways,
Yeah.
so without spoiling it too much, do we see Walt and Jesse in the show?
I mean, I'm not going to talk about it. Don't listen. You can see El
Okay,
Camino. You can see all the
Yeah, I was
things.
about to
Just
say,
see
what do you
El
think of the
Camino,
movie?
You know,
I
haven't
love
seen
the
You guys-
movie. I think
you-
the movie's really good.
El
Some
Camino?
people hated it. I heard it was very mixed opinions on the movie.
I haven't
I
seen
thought
I
it was
loved
good.
it.
Yeah.
To me,
it
it
was-
felt like to me, it felt like a stealth video game. I don't know if that makes sense.
can
Like
see
the
what
whole
you're saying.
movie is just like him sneaking around.
I understand why
people,
normies wouldn't like it because it's not like a big definitive story statement, but it's
True.
like a little sub story tributary.
I think it
side
just
piece.
gives people
I like
closure
it.
for Jesse's story. I think
Is it required to appreciate the ending more or no?
I mean,
no,
if you
if-
like
it
the
just-
world, it's a visit
you
through
felt-
the world again, right? It's like returning
Yeah,
to Narnia.
It's basically like if you
This case
if
is
you
Albuquerque.
want if you want more out of Jesse's story, if you felt like they kind of just cut Jesse's story off, if you want closure for Jesse's story, then watch it for sure.
The star of those shows is New Mexico and Albuquerque, and how fucking crazy it looks. And the way the sun and the colors are, because it's just flat desert mostly, except when it's an interesting place, and it's no
All
other
right.
show does that. Like, I mean, it was pretty cool when they started filming in Georgia for like The Walking Dead, but I think it's really, really cool when they go to like Minneapolis or.
Walking Dead sucked after season 3.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was. I agree with that too.
Well,
But,
everyone,
no,
welcome
I love
to the
Breaking Bad.
Welcome to the
Review
AMC
summary of Breaking Bad. The Vince
welcome to the
Gilligan
second
overview.
episode of Three
Jason, you have
Grandmas.
too many
We are
fucking
now talking
rules.
about.
You have too many fucking rules.
We're talking about
Jason.
only AMC movies or AMC shows right now. That's all
It
we're
doesn't
talking about.
matter.
Keep-
The fans
keep-
like it.
Next
they want
week
us to
is
talk.
Mad Men,
They
and why
want-
Mad Men was a fantastic show.
You know, we're not paying for studio lights. We're not paying General Electric to be in a studio. We can cook. You know, if people want to hear it. Come on.
Did you guys watch
I
Mad Men?
gotta go. I got stuff
Oh, yeah.
to do.
No,
but
I heard it's
I
good,
didn't
though.
watch Mad
Mad Men's
Men.
fantastic, yeah.
Mad Men
I
is a
watched.
fucking bomb.
Don
Oh, I
Draper
love
is
that show.
a man.
Oh, you
Don
got to see
Draper.
Mad Men. See that too,
I-
man. It's amazing.
How,
It's
how
a good
long
show.
is that?
Good show.
Is that another? It's like
Oh,
9 seasons.
guaranteed banger. Guaranteed banger.
I'm-
It starts
No
slowing down
problem.
towards the end, but yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
still good.
I mean,
I started Mad
you'll
Men.
get into it.
I didn't enjoy it, but
Shut the
you
fuck
know.
up, JC.
I'm
What do you mean you
serious.
didn't enjoy it?
This guy's not an
It's
American.
so good. They're just
That's
con
why.
artists doing
Yeah,
cons.
that's right. He's
I
not American.
hated
So of
every
course he wouldn't.
character.
No
Yeah.
nuts.
I
See what I have to
hated
put up with,
every
How
Scar?
could you
character.
hate Don Draper?
I
What do you
couldn't
mean?
stand
He's
him.
such a
You're supposed to
fucking
not
man.
like him. You're not want to like him. He's an
No,
anti-hero.
but
Just
you know,
like Tony
no, no,
Montana.
I don't
He's
mean
an anti-hero.
I don't mean in a I dislike
JC.
the character.
Choose your words
I
very
mean-
carefully.
I didn't enjoy
What you say
watching
next about
the
Don
show
Draper?
at all. Like I didn't enjoy watching these characters interact. I found it very just.
What about
annoying
the
and-
plot and the set and the direction and
I
you
thought it
didn't
looked nice.
compel it?
I thought it looked really nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought it looked really nice.
Maybe it didn't really
anyway.
get going until season 2 or 3. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened. to
Anyway,
me.
so what would you rate Scarface?
I would give it a
Pragpro?
92. Don't think I
92?
forgot about rating Scarface. I'm still locked in.
You said
I'm
92?
still here. 92.
I think this is our
Okay,
this is going to be our highest rated film that we've
Yeah.
had on this podcast.
So we got
I mean,
93
for
and
good
two
reason.
92s.
I'd put an 85.
It works with a
85.
film
Okay.
snob and it works
Yeah.
with the people. This is the kind of movie that works
Yeah.
with all groups as long as you don't
JC's
care
the
about
film
violence.
snob, and I'm the dumb people. Look at that. Brought
I mean,
together.
I don't know. I'm just talking about
We
the
both
world.
liked Pirates of the
No,
Caribbean.
I didn't
at
say
Wells
dumb.
true.
I said
That's true.
general audience.
true.
When did I say dumb people? I
You
just
said
said
you didn't
general.
have to. You didn't have to. It was the
No,
way you said people.
No, because that's what you're
The
putting on the general
people.
audience. You put
The
that on the general
people.
audience, not you.
No,
I think they have
I
more
said I'm the
better
dumb
ideas
people.
often.
I said I'm the dumb
I mean, that's
people.
your
me.
that's your
That's me.
issue.
I think Angry Scar. Are you muted? I couldn't even.
No,
Sure,
no,
no, he's-
okay.
I'm not.
Who
I'm not
knows?
going to interrupt, but something real quick is if you want the full picture of this, you have to get the director's cut and see all of Brian De Palma's commentary, and
Okay.
also you need
Really?
to play the game to like
I
understand
can't
where
wait
they
to play
were
the
going to
game.
go with
Oh,
You
that.
okay.
gotta stream it.
So
if you
it's like-
stream it,
Yeah.
Oh, is that the case? All right, I give it a 20 then. If
what
that's
if
the
we
case.
stream it on the free
What?
Yeah,
Grandma's channel?
if I need more stuff,
You
if
don't
I need to
need
do
it. I'm just
homework,
saying
movie
it's
gives me.
bonus. It's bonus.
It's a bonus.
So
Bonus
you were
you said
saying I
feature.
need it.
points for director's
Bonus
commentary. That's
feature.
crazy.
You know what I need?
I'm kidding.
I need to get off
I'm
my
kidding.
back. That's
It's a
what I
good-
need.
Whoa,
I need to
Oh,
calm
whoa.
down. I'm the guest here, aren't I?
back, man.
I don't have
Get
the
off
boss.
me.
You didn't get the things I had on my list. I won a Red Bull and I won Skittles
Oh.
as I arrived. I've got nothing. I
Where are
don't
the
have
fucking
caffeine.
Skittles?
I told
I
you
He
to
only,
get
will-
that
he
time.
only wants red Skittles. That's it. That's all he wanted.
Yes.
There's a
because
purple
I'm
Skittles
allergic.
in the fucking room. Why is there purple Skittles?
I told you to buy that time. Get out of here.
That's not one of the original
You're fucking-
colors.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
I'm tired. Damn it.
What an explosive episode of Three Grandmas
That's
Yapping
good.
about movies.
Our final episode.
Throw
That's
this
crazy.
across the room. Seriously, I'm throwing this across the room. I'm done.
This is
Just
the
if no one
14th
sees me
episode?
again and asks why, say it's because of this.
Like that girl that disappeared in Scarface.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that 18-year-old girl that
Dude,
disappeared?
you gotta look
That
into
might
that.
happen
It's
to
crazy.
you.
Look
That might
into-
happen to you.
Oh
Andy
no!
Scar.
Come on.
You will
This is some
have-
cinematography right
I mean,
now.
that shit happens all the
Yeah.
time, bro. It's really mysterious. People just disappear. It's
This
crazy.
nose cam is
Gotta be careful.
fantastic.
What?
I
Oh,
want to
look at your microphone. What kind of microphone do you have, Scar? I want to talk about tech stuff for a minute. What are we working with here? Let's get into it.
Quadcast.
Oh, that's
Quadcast.
beautiful.
Quadcast.
The lights turned off.
What are we
Yeah, I
doing?
don't fuck with the lights. They're too
Oh, he
abrasive.
don't,
They're
he don't
annoying.
like the RGBs.
Oh, I don't fuck with the lights either. They're
Fuck the
annoying.
lights.
That's stupid.
I don't need a jellyfish in my room when I'm trying to
For
play
real.
FIFA.
For real.
Mine just has a little light on it. That's it.
I
Oh,
hate
that's
that.
See,
all
that's
I
not
need.
even a pro microphone like we have. Don't even
that's-
show a
Mine's a
microphone like
razor.
that.
True.
Mine's a razor.
A
It's
razor.
beautiful.
I have
Yeah.
an XLR
It's a
powered
rated
Shure
Razor Mini.
microphone. Can you hear how
Razor.
powerful this microphone is?
Does it do the job? Does it do the job?
What kind of job are you trying to do?
Yeah, it depends on the job.
Depends on the job.
man.
It depends on the job, man.
So I want to confirm our next guest is I Hate You All. Is that right? I believe so.
Yes.
Trace?
Our next guest on the
Wait,
podcast.
Is that what's
I
on the
don't-
schedule?
I know her as Tracy, so yes.
That's like 3
Tracy,
fucking weeks
yes.
from now,
Tracy.
right?
Yeah, it's in a month.
Yeah,
We got to get more
yeah,
guests. That's so crazy. Every time I'm going to complain
3rd of
about it every
August.
time, but the fact that
3rd
we
of
have
August.
3 shows and then a guest is nuts. Considering
Well, not
all the
anymore.
people
We're not
who
doing
wanna
that
be on-
anymore.
Well,
We
now
know
we
that,
have 2,
Pragpro.
right?
Now, yeah.
When are we going to
so
get to
once,
3? When we get to 3, maybe I'll be happy. Maybe not.
So when we
We need
hit
less guests.
when
Less.
we hit the
We don't,
14th of
'cause I already
September,
know
that's
your
when we start
opinions.
doing.
I think
Once we
Tracy's
hit the
last
14th
one.
of September.
Yeah, after the Tracy starts.
No,
swapping.
after. No. I'm looking at
Tracy's the last one of
schedule.
the
Tracy,
regular
get your
schedule,
noodle
and then it
box
changes.
ready.
Yeah.
What movie are we
Yeah.
watching? Oh, we're watching.
The
Tracy
Departed.
can't do noodle box.
Has she
Are we going to
decided?
talk about the movie? I think it was the Descent, the movie about
Isabella.
Boston,
The
The
Departed.
Departed.
Yeah.
The Departed.
But I don't
I'm
want to.
excited
Yeah,
for
The
that. I love
Departed.
that
I love
film.
that movie. We're gonna love. I can't wait to talk about that.
Okay,
movie.
so
But
Tracy
next week-
can't appear with the noodle box.
She
Why-
can't?
Why?
No, she's only
Why
going to have the
not?
audio, and Scar has to be on camera and mouth the words the entire time.
Well, like a puppet,
what?
like a meat
Like a
puppet.
yeah, a meat
I
puppet.
like
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like a meat puppet.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's
It's
fun.
actually-
Actually,
Tracy's gonna
that's
be
a
on
funny
camera.
bit.
Of course it is.
If you speak, she speaks, and then you make the words like
Right,
you're
yeah.
speaking. I think that's
Oh.
fucking fly.
That'd
Fine,
be,
I
the
think
that'd be
that's
so
fresh
funny.
as fuck. I'd love to see something like that.
Am
Shoot
I
a
If
gonna-
fucking
Hagrid
show.
was willing to do it and be silent for
And
a
if she
whole
had her
episode.
hand up his asshole while
Oh,
she
yeah,
I was
was
look,
about to
doing
say
it,
that. I was about to
that would
say
be
She's
that.
down.
more-
She's
that
down.
would
She
be
said she'll do it.
perfect. Then it's like throwing her voice, you know.
Yeah,
And she could actually operate
Exactly.
the larynx with her fingers if she gets in there deep enough.
yeah,
I'm literally,
That'd be
I'm
amazing.
just
You can do
a
that.
shell host at this point. I'm a shell host of a
yeah.
human. Is what I'm becoming.
That's right.
Powerful, angry Scarro. No.
He is merely a vessel right now.
I'm a vessel. Just
Yeah.
like
Can we
my
talk about Channel
nostrils.
9 for a minute? I don't feel like I learned
No,
anything
this
about
isn't
Angry
a
Scar
Channel
9.
This proof
No, we're
show.
not talking
Yeah,
about
it is
Channel
because
9.
we
Shit
literally
show.
have guests on to
No,
talk
this
about
isn't
what
a
they do
channel.
on their channels.
No.
Like Dr. Yasmin talked
This
about
isn't a
his
Channel
channel.
9 approved show. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
can we talk about
apologize.
next week first? I want to talk about next week.
Yeah,
first.
okay. Let's,
So,
it's so
so
cringe.
Let's do our
So-
business first, and then move to your
and then,
business.
yeah, and
family
then we can
business.
leave off
It's all
with
our
the-
business. What are we
Because you
talking
remember
about?
what the last thing we do is what burns into people's minds.
I don't
right?
have a
That's
shirt
the
on,
last thing
JC. Do
do
you
is
think
what
I
people
understand
remember.
rules? You think
Like
I
your fucking
understand
shirt on.
rules?
This is crazy.
I do Mario, Super Mario on CuteBot now.
But
I
you don't have
fucking
Why are
pants
you
on.
not
fucking
wearing a
crazed.
shirt? I don't.
You have no
understand
pants on
this.
too. I know that.
Because it's
That's
fucking
just
summer,
insane.
JC. It's
Dicks
hot
out
in
for
here,
Pragpro.
and I've been working out, and it's time to get fucking fly. And why, I don't need a rashy, mate. You know what I'm saying?
Harashi.
You know what a rashy is? And when
Uh.
you go swimming in Australia, you put on a rashy so you don't get a sunburn, mate.
Are they nipple coverings?
Yeah, it's
What
a
are
bit
they?
of a nipple covering.
This
Oh.
podcast has gotten so loose. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's gotten loose. It's all
Yeah,
off the
loose.
rails, mate.
I love it.
3 loose grandmas.
Yeah.
There's only one
go.
grandma on this podcast.
Oh,
There's
sorry.
only
She
one
loose
loose
as
grandma.
fuck. She loose.
Mm.
Jesus.
Next week,
He's
what are we watching?
constantly
What are we
trying to
watching
end
next
this
week?
show. He's constantly trying to end
It's
it
a shame.
every
I'm
day.
not
He's
trying to
got
end it.
things
I'm
to
just trying to
do.
get to my segment.
Technically,
I
he
do
could
have
just do
things
second
to
What
week.
do you have to do,
Technically.
JC? It's Sunday in Australia.
I
I
need to
canceled
upload
dinner
this,
reservations
actually.
for this.
Upload it. You can upload it all
Make the
fucking
most
night.
out of this night.
This
Yeah.
is the
Um,
dinner.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell him that.
But
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, Scar. He doesn't understand that the content is king on this
the-
thing.
it
And as
comes
long as
with-
you're cooking, you're gonna get
but
more. You know what I'm saying?
also, but
Comes with
also,
time.
people look at a podcast and they see
Mm-hmm.
an hour and 30 minutes, and they go,
Ask
I
Joe
don't know if I
Rogan.
have time to listen to that.
Dude, Joe
Ask
Rogan's
Joe
like
Rogan.
4.
Ask Lex Friedman. Those
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
are the top
Ask Alex
podcasters. They do
Jones, okay?
7
And
fucking hour
Ask Alex
podcasts.
Jones. How about
Yeah,
that?
ask
hour
Alex.
to an hour and a half is the
And ask him what he thinks the
is the
water is
sweet
doing to
spot.
frogs.
Did you do
Please
a
tell
study?
him. Please ask him.
Turning the frogs what? What are they doing to the
JC,
frogs?
if you don't have a citation available where there's been a sociological
freaking
study
frogs.
of podcast listeners and their preference for length, I don't want to hear it because I know that research is available and maybe
I will find that research. I will find that research.
Let's compare notes next time, and we're going to have a discussion about length.
Oh, we got to end JC Darks here. We got to end Darks here.
Get out of here, dog. Yeah, we gotta end now.
No, we're not doing Lord of the Rings, New Zealand. Come back next week. Maybe we'll be doing Hobbit, Frodo. Sorry, Frodo.
So next
So crazy.
week,
So cringe.
so next week was my choice. We're going to be watching Treasure Planet next
I'm
week.
excited.
That's what we're
Excited.
talking about.
Have you seen
this
it?
is a film. Me?
What?
Yeah, this is a film. This is a film
Okay.
from my childhood. This
I
is a
thought
film
you
from
were
my
joking.
childhood. No, I'm not joking. We're doing
Okay.
Treasure Planet. We haven't done an animated movie yet, and
I haven't seen it. I'm excited.
I haven't seen
I
it
want to
either.
do it because it's a childhood favorite, but I have a lot of things to say about it. That over the years have kind of, you know,
Is it fascist too?
niggled at me. But
Kind of-
Say that, JC.
Hold on, wait, what?
niggled.
Listen.
I said niggled.
Don't say it,
Yeah,
don't say it,
they
I'm
other
saying it,
countries.
I'm saying it.
It's a
Don't
word.
pass
I know.
Gentlemen, oh my
They
God, I'm
don't
gonna
pass
go.
in America. You need to
That's
come to
a word.
America and learn. You say that in Brooklyn, you're not going to have legs anymore. Okay?
It's not a what? I didn't say
Replicating Bruce
anything.
Willis in Die Hard.
I can't even have that in my vocabulary because it's
That's
too
ridiculous.
much.
What
That's
do you mean?
ridiculous. This
That
is
wasn't.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to
sorry,
go.
JC.
I mean, I can't be
You can say
associated with
that.
this.
Associated
you
with
can't
this,
I
say
can't.
that.
Scar was
It's got
never
nothing
here.
I'm a brand.
It's got
I'm a
nothing to
brand.
do with
Down this
that.
Hey,
week.
one
He was
more
never here.
motherfucking time.
This is Happy Scar 08.
It's itched at my brain.
Different
Is
guy.
that better? It's itched
Yeah,
at
there
my
you go.
brain.
Way better,
for
yeah.
a long, long time.
That's all right.
And
Itched
I've
with
written
with an A.
essay.
Yeah.
I've written essays about this film. To
Really?
myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have no
I've-
concept. I didn't even know this was a movie. I have no concept. Is it really a highly regarded animation film? I
I
have
would
no
say
idea.
this one and
I love
Atlantis
animation.
confused.
Yeah, it's
You know
it's
about this
highly-
movie,
you know,
Scar?
It's considered
No.
an underrated
I don't know what the
classic.
fuck is going on.
Especially from Disney fans. It's one that I watched as a kid. But
Oh, it's a Disney.
Yeah, I started.
Oh, okay.
I even want I started writing like a remake of Treasure Planet just so I could.
What is happening
But-
right now?
I don't know.
It's a whole
I don't
thing.
know.
It's a whole thing. But we'll go over it next week.
I can't
We'll
wait
go
to see
over it.
this.
Was
I'm so
Atlantis the more
intrigued.
popular version of this type of movie?
Is it a
Yeah, it
Robert
was, yeah.
Louis Stevenson,
All
the
right.
Robert Louis Stevenson book
It's
recreated
based on
in a
Treasure
future?
Island. Yeah, but it's
Treasure
set
Island in
in
space.
I
but
love
it's
that
set in
book.
space.
That was one of the
Um,
first bangers I read when I was a little kid. When they finally give you a fucking novel to read when you're big enough, right, to figure that shit out.
Mm.
What a banger Treasure Island is!
Have
I
you
can't-
seen
know.
Treasure Planet, Angry Scar?
Nope.
You haven't seen Treasure Planet.
So
either.
welcome
Oh my
back
God.
next week.
shit.
Angry Scar's
Watch
coming
that
back.
shit.
I'm
Angry
looking
Scar.
forward.
Do you have any
Looking forward to seeing you
literature?
next week. We're kicking
Literature?
off time. You're the new grandma.
Yeah, did you write
Did
any
you say
literature about
furniture or
Treasure Planet?
literature? Oh.
I wrote literature about Slash. I wrote,
Yeah,
a,
there
I
you
wrote
go.
a 3-page paper on Slash. We could choose
the
anything.
guitar
Ooh,
slash.
from
Yeah.
GNR? Oh,
Oh,
shit, let's
I
fucking
did.
go.
Wow,
That's why I did
That's
paper
cool.
on.
What is your
Yeah.
favorite things about
I've written an
Splash?
essay on Treasure
Oh,
Planet.
I just
before.
thought he was. I thought he was cool as fuck.
That he
What was
wasn't
in
in
the
Chinese
essay?
democracy.
Did you discuss the music, like on a musicological
Yeah, it
level,
was like
like
our. It was
the
like our final.
chords and shit?
We had to go all in. It was our
Oh,
final. We
really?
had to have
He wore a
sources
top
and
hat. He was
Yeah.
What does
cool.
Slash do that other guitar players don't do?
He wore a
drugs.
top hat.
No, I don't.
No, I'm
my
talking
God.
about quarterly and with the
I don't know. I was
fingering.
15.
I know, but I get
Kinda
excited.
fingering.
Fingering.
Yeah,
Fingering.
Now, all right.
Fingering.
I would
Fingering.
love to make
That's
a
what
about
remake
I
of
said.
Treasure Planet with Slash in it. Imagine if we made an improv 3.5-hour show called Treasure Planet 2 and Slash was the police detective. What do you think about that, guys?
We're going to mobile. We're going to mobile.
Oh
All right,
my
good.
God.
We're on the fucking loose.
Where is he going? We
He's
can't hear
fucking
him.
cooking.
We're going to mobile.
Listen,
Well, I was-
It's a
this
house
is
I
tour.
was-
what the show should be, JC.
I was about to say we could talk about Channel 9 now, but
We're doing it.
We
I'll
can't hear
talk,
him
don't
now.
worry. I'll talk about it while he's doing it. I know what he's going to say.
Is he going to do a
I don't
presentation
know.
for us now?
Is it a magnificent place? It's the home
What
of
is he
comedy
doing?
on Twitch. Channel 9 is where you have improv and stand-up and long form and characters, and there's 7 channels in the affiliation, but there's a galaxy of stars orbiting that affiliation.
He looks like an angry dad who's mad at us.
I don't even know what he's mad at us about.
He's
Who's
not
not
mad.
anyway, every
He's not mad, he's
Saturday.
just disappointed. This Saturday, this next
Every
week. You mean?
Saturday, starting. Well,
It didn't happen last Saturday or this Saturday. So
He's
it's not every Saturday.
moving the time because he's on a little vacation. Don't worry, he's setting up. We want to talk about a little bit what
All right, you're
he's
back.
working on.
He
He's
was
doing a
disappointed,
big
yeah.
show, and it requires crafting, and that's all I'm going to say. But Bagger is working on something fucking real hot, so don't worry about the delay in whose line is it anyway, because he's
Do
doing
you
it
want
in
to
big
talk
style.
about Channel 9 now, Scar?
Please.
that you're
Channel
back.
9 is a organization that is blowing up more by the minute. We're honestly the gasoline of this website, and we're just waiting for a big enough lighter to light our flame.
Woo!
We are growing. We are hot. Blue fire, not orange. It's blue. It's so hot.
So you're
The
you're
team's
growers,
growing.
not
Don't interrupt me.
showers.
This is important.
Oh shit!
Let him
There
cook.
are so
Twitch is a
many
pussy
people-
just waiting to
people-
get fucked.
Come on, JC.
Can I finish?
Yes.
I have a huge list of people trying to join Channel 9. You know what I say all day? I say this all day.
Really?
No, all day.
Fuck them.
No, and it's just because I
We're
only
good.
get the cream of the crop, and Twitch.tv/EnglishStar09, Twitch.tv/HUC
wanna talk
Killer,
about the lineup?
Twitch.tv/
Oh, yeah.
a low flying Killy, Twitch.tv/Pragpro, Twitch.tv/Matt T Bagger, Twitch.tv/SV.
Saffron with a V.
Saffron.
All right, I'm
with a
done.
V.
I'm done.
Phron.
I'm
What
done.
Learn
about
to
Time?
spell
He's
it.
on the show, isn't he?
No, I'm not. No.
Haven't you been on the show? Weren't you
But
on
no,
Listen,
Pragpro?
JC, when the books
these
open
are the
up, maybe,
affiliates.
you know,
Yeah.
there's,
Oh.
only
Organization.
there's only 7 core.
I mean,
These are the
Their
people that don't
organization.
get paid.
Yeah,
He's an
yeah,
intern.
you know,
I'm an intern. Yeah, unpaid
We're-
intern.
An
We're all
unpaid
working.
intern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
a
looking
good
forward to the stuff you're pumping out, guys.
What's
Yeah,
your
they got a lot of
favorite,
good stuff coming out.
JC? What's your favorite Channel 9 program? I've been,
I've
one of
never
your
seen- I've
podcast
never even seen
co-hosts
his
has been on
name in the
Channel
chat
for.
once. I haven't. I mean, of everyone here, I've never even seen him in any of them. So I mean, I
I've been
think
real
he's the
busy.
wrong person to ask.
I'm
Because
real
he
busy.
obviously doesn't fuck with us, and I'm
Dude,
starting to
you're-
think
KC.
I don't fuck with him.
Is that true?
That's what I'm
Let
starting
me
to
just
think.
tell
you.
Just a
Shit.
minute.
We're opening
Now,
Let-
take
let
a
me
wig
just-
off. I know it's fake.
The
me
banding's
just
been
tell
ripped
you-
off, chat. Everyone calm down.
Let me just tell you, you're always
on a wig
streaming
too.
while I'm working. It makes
Good.
it very difficult.
Upon a
But
wig
there's
too.
only, there's VODs, mate. You got to go to
But-
the Road to Leva tennis arena. You
What's
cunt.
this character's name?
VOD.
Oh my god,
JC?
it's Slash.
Okay,
Huh?
here we go. Barry's here now.
Isn't
You
it
don't
the
get-
Barry show? Isn't he
Yeah,
Barry?
there you
I don't know
go.
what's going on.
Yeah.
How would you know?
Scar's having a schizophrenic break.
I'll
going
put on
through
new
his
wig
characters
in
now.
10
I
seconds.
did,
I will.
I did know the when you were the employee at the tech firm. I did know the character that I
Talk
forgot
to
what
me.
it was.
How is that any way to talk about that character? That's not how that character is expressed
I'm
in
sorry.
media.
I'm always working. I'm
Yeah,
always
but-
working.
I've made Titanic almost a
Guys.
month ago. You could have watched
Guys.
that.
You gotta
crazy.
understand that you
Lance
guys
is in it.
live
Your
the
favorite
US.
fucking streamer
You live
is
a
in it.
different time zone.
True.
I have
True.
VODs. Listen, Lance is your
Where are you
favorite
from again?
streamer.
Narnia? Is that where you're
Yeah,
from?
Narnia.
Narnia?
Middle-earth.
Narnia?
Narnia,
Narnia? One of those two?
I live in Western Australia.
Same thing.
All right.
It's not the same thing.
Sorry.
Same thing.
It's a mythical
Sorry you
place,
have to
and
deal
that
with
way
that.
it's the same,
People
JC.
think it
Wouldn't you
totally
agree?
I'm yeah. I got that check for my performance as a Western Australian last week.
Do you know any kangaroos? IRL.
How was Steve Irwin? Was he cool?
I never met him.
Oh, it's
Are you afraid of wallabies? Because I am.
No.
Have
No,
you ever
they're
touched a
lovely.
platypus?
No.
What have
No,
you
I've never
Smell
touched
eucalyptus all day.
What have I
Sorry,
touched?
sorry.
A quokka. You know what a quokka is?
A
You know
quokka?
what a quokka.
No.
You know what a
cock-
quokka?
Arr.
No.
They're like tiny wallabies. They live on.
Yeah.
They're like little rats. They're like this
Yeah.
big. They
Yeah.
live on Rottnest Island.
It's a
They're so
marsupial.
cute.
Is it a
They're
marsupial?
marsupial. It's a
Yeah.
marsupial. Yeah,
I would
Yeah, I've
love to
touched
eat a
one of those.
marsupial.
they're very cute.
What do marsupials
Although I
taste
think-
like, JC?
Although I think I just admitted to breaking laws, but that's okay.
I
I don't think
mean,
you're allowed to
it's-
pat them.
This is
Who cares?
international space because if we're doing a
Mm.
podcast and some people are in one country and you're in another country, that's all good. You can say anything you
Mm.
want if that's the case.
So Slash, what's your opinion on the latest in U.S. politics? I want to hear it.
Oh shit!
Race
What
in
the
U.S.
fuck?
politics?
Jesus, let's fucking go.
Jesus. Good
Slash
lord.
knows.
I got about 15
Well,
minutes on the
you
Supreme Court, JC.
I'll
If
tell
you want me to
about
start
another
cooking.
person, not even Channel 9 member, someone I respect and like. and that's Civic TV. You guys, do you know him? So
No.
do you guys know the politician who has the boot on his head?
Yeah. Oh, Vermin Supreme.
Yes, he literally
Of course I know
had
who
him
fucking
as
Vermin
a guest
Supreme is.
tonight on his show.
I fucking fuck with
Dude.
him.
Whoa.
Honestly,
That's
it
so
was like
cool.
the biggest guest pull I'd ever seen. It was like a banger episode. I mean,
That's
Flying
so
Veta
awesome.
was on that show, right?
yeah.
Flying
She's on
Veta
the
was
same
on
show,
that show.
exactly.
Vita.
Yeah.
Vita.
You don't have
But
to tell me, Scar. I'm a big fan of Channel 9 already.
Yeah. But I was just,
That's awesome.
definitely. He's a
So
good
he's a
politician.
Channel 9 alum, is that right?
He's doing his own path.
I mean,
Fair.
we have Abobox doing a 48-hour stream out here too.
I know.
He's doing it up big style. I mean, we have a
You
lot
guys
of
are going to be bigger
friends.
than SNL before you know it.
Leslie,
SNL
the,
sucks
the
ass.
Leslie show. We love that show so much. I mean, there's
But
so
yeah,
many-
thank you everyone for watching the Three Grandmas podcast. This has been a really fun episode talking about Scarface with Angry Scar and Nine.
Sorry,
Thank
Chad.
you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for
Anytime.
talking
I'll
to
come
us
back
about
next
it.
week. I literally,
Oh, please.
if you want me
Okay.
to, I will.
You're welcome.
I literally
Are we
You know
doing the
what's funny?
island next time?
Yeah,
He has the
I'll
link.
expand it.
He can just come in whenever he wants.
I could.
It's
I
the
will.
same
I
link.
will. I will.
Pop it every.
We
We
can make
literally could do
unlimited
that.
podcasts. You know that, guys. We can break into little groups and make all kinds of podcasts on Riverside. There's no limit. You can make all kinds of new stuff.
But me and Ab
Let's
are
talk
talking
about
about a
politics,
wrestling
Pragpro.
podcast. We might do it. A wrestling podcast
Do it.
together.
You guys have to do it. I think
Yeah.
that would be fucking great.
That'd be sick. Let Time join. He's an
Yeah,
agent.
Time-
Yeah, I
Talk
mean,
about-
I want to get him involved too. I mean, he
Fucking
brings up
please.
to me all the
You
time.
guys have to
Abbott
coordinate a
does.
date. Set a date to
That's
record
what I
and make
tell
a fun
him.
first episode. Make a pilot.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
And then have one guy do all of the
We could
uploading
have went over
stuff.
Money in the Bank tonight.
this is my idea though, because you guys could also do this as well. It's like you have this show for free, and then you have the cheap Patreon where you actually see the content and watch it with them, which is something you
Oh,
couldn't
fuck.
do
Oh
anywhere else.
yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
route I want to approach him with. I think that'd be really smart.
Okay.
So yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's like an
$1
extra
Patreon.
3 hours where you're watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like something that would cost nothing, but it's a legal place we could upload it and
Right,
not get
yeah,
like
yeah.
in trouble. So
It's smart. Yeah.
I like that.
It's good.
You heard it here first, chat.
yes, do that with this.
Thank you.
Do that with this.
Yeah, we can watch movies. Yeah, on Discord.
I mean,
and put
it's
on
not
there.
like he
love
knows
to
how to
watch
build
movies
a
together.
network out of nothing, JC. Right? It's like he literally built an affiliated system with lots
Why
of
are you directing
content.
this at me?
I'm just telling people who don't watch Channel 9 that they're missing out because it's just evolving constantly, and it's a beautiful thing. Like it's a bit like an orchid.
I will try to tune in more often.
I'm gonna put
but
you on
it's
Channel
gonna,
9.
It's gonna
Gil's
be
It's too
Put
late,
them to
JT,
duty,
because
dude.
you're
It's-
banned. It's
it's
too
gonna
late.
be
That's
hard.
what I do,
Banned.
Time. That's
You're
my
banned.
job.
You're banned.
I guilt
You're
people
banned.
into doing things they don't want to do initially.
You're
Do you,
banned.
do you want me to call in sickies and just like watch Channel 9? Like
Yes.
As long as you just never
Sickies.
say sickies again, and then
Yeah,
you can do
don't
whatever
ever
you want.
say
As long as you
sickies
never
again.
say
What do you mean? That's
sickies
what we
again,
call it here.
do whatever
Well,
you
the
want.
That's
vagina.
Australia.
As long
Or
as that
niggles,
word
the
never
vagina
said
is
again
ever
from
again.
you.
Dude,
Well,
you are
it's a
shitting on
vagina.
Australian culture right now. That's what we
Good.
say. We say pulling a sickie. Get out of here.
Well, I like your
Vagina.
steakhouse. I like your steakhouse,
Get
so
outta
thank you
here.
for that.
You like my steak. You
Yeah,
like our
thank you
bloomin'
for-
onions.
thank-
You know,
I
none of
love
us
that.
eat that here.
JC.
No one eats that here.
Yeah,
You
that's
know the
probably
world's
why
a
you guys are fucked
vagina,
up.
and you're a penis,
Probably why.
JC.
Because you don't have the
No,
courage to eat it. That's why.
You guys drink Fosters? You ever had
No.
Fosters?
It's Australian
No.
for beer.
Foster children,
Yeah,
I
even-
drink them in
Wait,
liquid
what?
form. Is that what you're saying?
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute.
Wait.
This is what he
Hold
said.
on.
All right, guys. Have a
Have a good
What is
one.
it?
Thank you
Wait,
so
what
much
the
for
fuck?
coming.
No, I missed the fucking mic drop.
Bye, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations, Tiffany Stratton. Bye, guys. See
I'm
ya.
never
Bye,
wearing a
bye,
shirt
bye.
again, chat. This is
Bye.
what you're gonna have to fucking deal